Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the True Pop Culture 7 show. I'm your host, True Pop, here to laugh and think about pop culture stupidity. Quite a simple show today. We'll mainly be discussing the uh, Spider-Man 2 gameplay, and by that I mean dissecting every single little frame there is. Because I have thoughts, and I can't get wait to it. Uh, see what kind of things new they added. Now, I gotta say, I wasn't a fan of the first game from the story and gameplay combat perspective, but yeah, that'll be something I'll share later on in the live stream. Uh, with me today is my guest, Mr. Bug. Mr. Bug, how you doing?
Hello. I'm
Introduce
doing
yourself.
very well.
Uh, could you tell the people what you do and where they can find you?
Yeah, I'm Mr.Bug. I'm a part of the Legion of Memers with True Pop here. I make a lot of memes. I do videos on a lot of stuff, mainly superheroes and whatnot. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Bug. That's usually where I am most of the time, where I just put my takes and thoughts on stuff, and that's about it.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Bug, you've probably watched like the PlayStation showcase, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
At
I've
least
watched.
heard what's on essentially. I've heard that a lot of people were disappointed by it, but I don't know. I
Uh,
found it kind of like pretty eventful, to be honest, more so than the last one. I don't know. Last one, the only interesting thing they revealed, I think, was the Logan game, and they still haven't said anything about that Logan game. Insomniac's doing it, I think, at least.
Yeah,
Not
they're
entirely too
they're
sure.
doing that one. I mean, honestly, it probably is fair enough to like not have anything relating to Wolverine up in the same place as Spider-Man, because they don't want him to
That makes sense.
compete, I guess. And plus, it's gonna take a while, I would imagine, for them to make that game. So
Mm.
probably the next big PlayStation show. As soon as they got done with this Spider-Man and whatever DLC they announce for it,
Mhm.
because if they're gonna follow the pattern of the first game, it's gonna be like the game comes out and then it'll be like, I don't know, a month or two later they'll be like, okay, now here's the little story DLC pack.
Yeah, yeah. When was the last Wolverine game? I mean, Wolverine's probably the good choice
Uh, X-Men
to make it. Yeah.
Origins Wolverine, that was the last one.
Mhm.
That
Okay.
and honestly, that was a pretty good game for a pretty bad movie.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think it had a better story than the film as well.
Yeah,
Although
because
I'm not too sure on. I haven't played it.
yeah, it had a kind of a better story. I mean, the thing was they were originally going to do like a different thing, like different stuff with it, but the movie was practically being written on the spot, and they were just getting the game people were just being given notes about stuff that they were going to do. Like originally in the game, they were going to have like Savage Land stuff where you'd fight dinosaurs and shit, but they
Mhm.
got like notes from the movie. It was like, yeah, no, we're doing like a scene in Africa or whatever, and they're like, oh, okay, I guess we gotta change that all over the place, you know. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was a weird mess there,
Uh,
but
do you
yeah.
reckon? I reckon. It's always Spider-Man and Wolverine. I think are the two most popular Marvel characters. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it probably is. Um,
Well, probably like if you're singular characters, it's definitely going to be Spider-Man and Wolverine, at least at the top of the list.
mhm.
You probably have like your Hulk, or nowadays you'll maybe have like Thor, or Iron Man, or Captain America. But like but this, it's definitely Wolverine and Spider-Man.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I remember Razorfist saying something about there being a Daredevil game in the makes. something like that. Punisher. I can't remember.
I haven't. I can't say I've heard about that, but if there is one, that would be pretty interesting to see. You know, I mean, there's not much in terms of
No pun intended.
superhero games. Yeah,
You said C.
there ain't a whole. Yeah, there's not a lot of superhero games to really look forward to. I mean, I was gonna look forward to that Suicide Squad game, but not anymore. And
Yeah.
after that, there's that Wonder Woman game made by the
What?
guys who did.
How long ago did they announce that?
Probably yearish ago, I would say. And I
Who's it made
haven't
by?
heard anything. Monolith, the guys who did those Shadow of Mordor games, you know, with the Nemesis system.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
Huh.
Yeah, and
that might be good.
The last time I heard it, the last time I heard anything about that was apparently they were getting some. I think they were casting for some roles or something. At least that's what I heard, but that was a while ago. I haven't heard a peep since then. So, you know. But yeah, there's just. And what else? Oh, yeah. The other two for games that I've heard of is the Iron Man game made by EA. And then there's. I know. And then there's one, the Captain America and Black Panther video game made by the by Amy Hennig, the chick who did the Uncharted series.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, I've heard about it. Kenzo in the chat. Have a good one, Mr. Bug. I'm not a spider simp.
Thank you, Kenzo.
Jeez. Spider simp. I'll show you simp. You're simp for Gundams. There. Yeah.
But,
I'm looking forward to the Uncharted one. EA. Nah. How about no? The last good game that was movie based was I remember enjoying the Iron Man 2. Was it Iron Man 2 game? Yeah, I think it was Iron Man 2.
I never got to play. I never played that one. I played the first one, but then again, I played a lot of. I played a lot of the Sega movie games that they did.
Yeah.
You know, Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, and Captain America Super Soldier, which that one's actually pretty good.
Did you ever play on the PlayStation 2? There was a Hulk Ultimate Destruction thing.
No, can't say I did.
That was such a childhood game. You sometimes played as Bruce Banner, and you kind of like, type down security codes in secret laboratories, and as Hulk, it was so fun from what I remember. Essentially, you could jump really high, you could throw parts of the road essentially at people and cars, and Hulk would be make us such a good game, especially with like destructible environments and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that definitely would be.
It might be a little difficult, but I definitely see how a Hulk gameplay would be really fun. Anyway, let's get
the potential's there.
Yeah, let's get into the first segment of the show, which is hooked into pop culture.
And finally, the piece de resistance.
Yeah, so in this segment, we essentially talk about stuff we've consumed pop culture-wise this past week. Mr. Bug, why don't you get us started with what you've recently got sucked into in the last week or so?
Last week or so, I'd say the primary things I got sucked into was rewatching the animated Justice League series. Went through the first one. Haven't rewatched Unlimited just yet.
Mhm.
Now rewatching the 2004 The Batman because I just stumbled on that. I've gotten down to season 2.
Mhm.
Then
In in that Batman animated series, by the way,
yeah.
have you ever watched like an episode of this guy that keeps reliving his life in like the same time or something like that? It keeps reliving the same minute or so. I can't remember exactly. It was something to do with he was repairing like watches and stuff like that. I remember that episode seared into my childhood, and I can't exactly remember what it was, but that was certainly a cool episode. I'm trying to remember.
Well, I can't say I've seen it yet. It
Mhm,
probably might be a later season because I just
mhm,
started on season 2, and they've got like I think it was like 5 or 6 seasons altogether.
mhm.
You know, and
We've got a comment in the chat. I got so hyped when I saw Spider-Man bust out the basement and the symbiote came on him. Yeah, so I suppose we'll discuss that later, Nathan. But I suppose that the first time that he got the symbiote suit or not? It might be the first. Not entirely sure, but it might be. Uh, yeah, Mr. Bug, go on. What else did you want to say? What was the other thing apart from Batman?
uh, I think the other thing that I've kind of been watching on my time is like some My Hero Academia, and then
Hmm?
beyond that, it's been like some Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. That's been my regular go-to stuff for the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've recently been watching Vinland Saga on Netflix. I've been keeping up with season 2. Don't really like the first season, but I do like season 2. I've been watching Ted Lasso, weirdly wholesome. Not a whole bunch, essentially. I'm looking for shows to watch, essentially, and binge watch. Um, Not really on the lookout. I didn't get sucked into pop culture too much this week. I think a Sandman boss would be cool. It would be cool. I'm not sure how they would make it. It could be. It could be. Uh, Metal Gear is coming back. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I've only played. What is it? Phantom Pain? No, it's not Phantom Pain. I want to say the newest one. I can't remember the title. One that released like
Uh, it has
2005-ish.
to be Phantom Pain.
Probably is Phantom Pain then. Yeah, he's got a robot and an eye patch essentially, and I've heard good things about the old ones. Uh, but but we'll see about that. I'd probably check that out. But the thing is, like with Metal Gear, I've played up to a certain point. I think up to Quiet. Then for some reason my PlayStation fucked up, and I lost progress. And I don't want to go through that cutscene beginning thing again. That's fucking unskippable. It's
Yeah,
really,
you're
really
gonna wind up
annoying.
doing that again, anyways.
Uh, it's stupid.
Yeah,
It's really stupid.
no, 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 no. You're gonna no. Even if your game didn't mess up, you would have still had to do that over again because the way they because Konami and Hideo, they had a bit of an issue during the making of this game, and that's
Hmm.
when Hideo left, and they just recycled the entire first half of the game into the second half. So you're
Hmm.
gonna wind up doing a lot of things all over again, whether you like it or not, because
Uh,
they only had like half of a game done.
hmm. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like one of the biggest things about that game is like the gameplay is pretty good, but the story is pretty
Oh,
bad.
I don't get a single freaking thing. None of it. None of it. Uh, been enjoying Doctor Stone and Demon Slayer. Funny you should say that. I have been enjoying Demon Slayer very much. I really liked the beginning of Doctor Stone, but then as it went on, I'm like, what the hell? This is nowhere near as engaging as your premise, essentially. I thought this would be a lot more, psychologically daunting. And then there's drama in that story, essentially, of everyone turning into stone. And you two guys survived, essentially. And now one of the your friends wants to try to save his girlfriend, essentially. Um, and I think it should have. built on top of more on that, and instead it went in a different direction. So yeah, not really interested in it as that much. I was hooked
Yeah.
by the first episode, but then it went on. Nah. Uh, waiting for Fallout 1. Funny you should say that. I'm pretty sure Fallout New Vegas came out on Epic Games. Now I know it's Epic Games, but I've never played New Vegas, so I might play that. That's interesting. Let me know if it's any good. Turnos P. I missed one here. I don't have Kamen Rider. Who's Mr.Bug? Do you know who Kamen Rider is?
Kamen Rider is a series of like it's basically like the simplest way to explain it is like you know how like Power Rangers is like for like little kids, that's their target audience.
Yeah, yeah.
Kamen Rider is kind of like for the little kid's older brother, more or less, where it's just a little bit more mature. It's not
Okay.
like super. It's not like super gratuitous. Like it's like each season is a different theme, different cast, different like suits and stuff going on with it.
I wish
It's
they
pretty
had.
fun. Like
Sorry, I wanted just to read this. I wish they had a dialogue in Subspace Emissary because imagine Snake's reaction to seeing all these cartoon characters. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's speaking Metal Gear to me. None of it went that. All of that went past my head. All right. No, I don't understand anything with Metal Gear. Just good gameplay. That's it. That's it. Yeah, go on. Sorry to interrupt you.
no, it's no problem. Yeah, and it's just like and you don't have to worry about like you don't need to worry about like watching like, oh, if I watch this season, do I
Mhm.
need to watch like every other season to know the details of this? It's like, no, you don't. You could just pick up one season and be like, okay, this is cool, and enjoy it start to finish. Everything's all wrapped up, and if you want to watch more, they always got like a crossover movie or a movie to that season that comes out like a couple months later, because that's the pattern. It is really enjoyable. The newest season, Kamen Rider Geats, is pretty fun. I rather enjoy it. I'll probably wind up sharing some clips that I got because I will be in the mood. So there you go.
All right. Pilato, hey, yo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. Delito. Delito? Yeah, I'll say it like that. Hopefully I said it right. Didn't Konami and Kojima had a falling out? No idea, mate. No idea. Probably. But do you know anything about that? You know about them Japs, right?
Well, I all I know is that like Konami wanted to go one way and Kojima just wasn't happy with it. That's why he left, started his own company, and that's where you got Death Stranding. And Konami basically just turned all of their biggest stuff into pachinko machines. That's all it was for a long time. They were just doing pachinko games until now, where they're doing Silent Hill 2 remake. Like
Mhm.
they're finally starting to make games again, which is a shock to everybody.
Did you hear about the thing they're doing now? The Max thing.
The mech
What,
thing, isn't it? I think it's.
what am I thinking
Isn't
of?
that from? I think you're thinking of like that Armor Core game from the
Yes.
people that do Dark Souls.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not. I've never. I'm not exactly a Dark Souls super nut. I've only played like Elden Ring, and that was it. Apparently, Armored Core was a very popular series. It was real
Mhm.
fun, I guess. And now they're bringing it back, and hey, good for good for those guys. Good for the fans to get something they want. And,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
hope
Yeah.
it'll be fun
Definitely.
for them.
Speaking of Kojima, I did play a bit of what's it called? You gave me like a right shouting for it. I did play what's it called? Death Stranding.
Yeah.
It's Christ. The story is in that. It is just the most bizarre I've ever seen. Definitely a
You
contender
got
in the most ridiculous.
yeah. It's one of those stories where you have to you gotta watch a couple videos to explain what the fuck is going
Never
on.
mind a couple of
And
videos, maybe a trillion.
yeah, you need a couple of them just to explain what the plot is. But yeah, I never bothered with it because I saw the gameplay and I saw people play it, and it's just I'm not playing that shit.
Definitely. Undead Nerd says, I want to see Shocker come back. I love his design. Funny you should say about the Shocker. They have a perfect opportunity in Spider-Man
Yeah,
2
they need.
to
Yeah, they
do a certain scene, but I'll play it for those
yeah,
who need reminding.
yeah.
Get back here, Shocker! Shocker! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
I love that. Oh,
It's just that
Syria!
it's just the perfect delivery, and honestly, they ought to do it. I mean, I've seen them. They recreated the Spider-Man point meme in Insomniac did. So it's not like
Did they?
it's come on. Well, yeah,
Huh.
they did it for advertising,
Okay.
where they took a screenshot. They just had two of their Spider-Men just pointing at each other, just for shits and giggles, meme advertisement. So it's just come on, you gotta do this.
Mhm.
You have the black suit. You
Mhm.
can use Shocker because I'm assuming a lot of the characters that we will see in the game are going to be characters that we've dealt with before. So it
Yeah.
makes perfect sense to have them pop up again. Sure, let me fight Shocker again. Let me fight
Mhm.
Rhino. And then obviously we'll sprinkle in some of the new guys. Like Lizard
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Craven and stuff.
Right, let me just pause this. All right, we'll get to breaking down soon to it. New viewer, hello! I haven't seen you here in the chat before. Jeb's like, welcome. Welcome. No Dead Nurse said he never came back during the prison escape. Shocker, you mean? Why wouldn't he be there? Wait. No, he probably got sent to another prison or something like that. Sons of the Forest has been interesting. I've heard of that game. Don't know too much about it.
Well, okay,
Uh,
okay. I have a thing about that. I think the deal is why Shocker didn't pop up is I think
Mhm.
Otto specifically had the members of the Sinister Six in mind to
Okay.
not only in just
Mhm.
they would be ideal to help him carry out his plans, but he would be able to easily work with them because they all had a reason and motivation for working with him. Like Vulture had cancer, Rhino wanted the suit off, Scorpion had what was it? Scorpion I think had gambling debts. And it was so on and so forth. Everyone had a motivation. Like Shocker just really wouldn't have
Mm.
worked.
This here as well. They showed a lot of Spider-Man villains. Yeah, definitely. We'll get into that. We'll break it down. I guess we're very eager to this, but before we dive in, I want just to say, I am not a fan of the first game. I don't like it. All right, that's probably my controversial take. I don't think the story is that good. I think deciding on Mr. Negative of all the villains is a stupid idea. It comes from pretty sure he debuted as a proper Spider-Man villain in the One More Day aftermath, and that's the last Spider-Man storyline you want to think about right now. So definitely. And then Doc Ock, I guess he was definitely the good part of the story, but it's so predictable that he's gonna end up being the bad guy. So I didn't feel much for him because I just I know he's going to be bad. I just don't. So I just find
I
it
think
hard to
it's.
care. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's fine. I really enjoyed the game.
Mhm.
Obviously, there's some pitfalls with it.
Yeah,
Some of the
like Miles
gameplay.
Morales and MJ. I fucking hate MJ in that game.
Yeah,
Ah,
everyone
it annoys
hates
me.
MJ in that game.
Good
I
God.
was like totally. I was way more interested in like Spider-Man's interactions with Yuri and Felicia because they had way more chemistry, and it just felt like way better.
Mm. I cried at the end. Yeah,
Yeah,
understandable, Mr. Undead Nerd. Understandable. I think
yeah,
everyone did.
that did tickle the heart there.
MJ was okay. No, she was not. She was absolute dog shit. She was discount Lois Lane. That is, It's so freaking annoying that no one can adapt MJ properly. She's definitely a party animal, and when there's this perfect story of her being like this notorious party animal, and then when Gwen dies, it kind of traumatizes all of Peter's friend group essentially, and she starts being into this more motherly, caring wife figure with Peter, and I think that's a beautiful story you could do. None of them bother with it, and it's so fucking frustrating. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah, it is what it is, and I don't know. Hopefully, maybe they take some lessons from
yeah.
people's critiques on it. And maybe Mary Jane is just not as horrible, or better yet, she's just not in the game.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. She went on vacation. All right, let's get to it. It'll probably take us a while to break this down, so let's get to it.
Right?
Starting off with a cutscene. So at first I was like guessing, what the hell is this game? You couldn't really guess, could you? Like, essentially.
Well, I mean, I kind of picked. I mean, I didn't really have to guess because I just saw it alone.
Really? You guessed right away that it was a Spider-Man game, like from here, because I didn't. I was just like, what the hell is this?
Okay, well, to explain it, I didn't watch the full thing at first, like the showcase. I saw the Marvel YouTube channel upload this, so I knew it
Mhm.
from the get go.
Okay.
And then
I was watching the live stream.
later,
Yeah.
yeah, I woke up like way after the showcase was over, and I was like a
Yeah.
little late to the party, and then I just started watching everything.
Yeah. Teleto says copyright strike on 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I know. I'm perfectly aware that this video will get copyright striked, but screw it. You know, I love Spider-Man stuff, so I'm gonna bother with it. So screw it. Uh, Audience watching, you can feel free to send us stupid chats to compensate for the demonetization of this video, but that neither here or there. I, I I love everything to do with Spider-Man. I'm doing this either way, breaking it down. Screw the copyright people, you know. Uh,
Yeah,
I also missed out a question back here in the chat. So, what did you think of the symbiote Spider-Man? We'll get right to that. We'll definitely get right to that. Yeah, let's carry on. So this is, I'm guessing, Africa, somewhere in Africa. I'm guessing.
it's either Africa or like the Amazon jungle or something.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's carry on. I had no idea who this guy was. I was like, what the hell is this? Is this some sort of metal? What's it called? Gears of War shit or stuff like that? I don't know. I was just completely
Yeah.
guessing. Who the hell is this guy? Tattooed guy, kind of hench and muscular, and
Yeah,
whatnot.
I remember some people thinking when this. I was seeing some reactions. Some people were thinking like, "Oh God, don't tell me this is Craven." And I'm just thinking like, "No, that ain't Craven." Because it's like,
Mm.
even if I didn't have seen it, this guy looks way too Jobber like, you know. So it's like there was no way this was gonna be Craven.
He was. What is he doing? Oh, he's not eating anything. He's probably sniffing the trail or something like that. Essentially. All right, he's got his name.
Slow in your old age, Sergey.
I like that he calls him Sergey. By his actual name.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
yeah, Sergei Kravenov.
Mhm.
That's his full name. Craven's just the
Exactly.
short nickname.
Yeah. So it's just like Craven the Hunter is probably his proper name, but he's more essentially for the challenge. He's he's what that tells you is he's going after the person, not the legend, essentially. Yep. And you can just see the outline there.
A fate you will not share.
Oh, I love that line. I love that line.
It is a
So
good line. Also, I gotta point out one thing. How the hell did this guy not realize the jacket was like a trap? Because wouldn't you have noticed that you don't see the guy's head over it or something?
Yeah, this is amateur. I don't know what this guy was thinking. Let me just stab this little coat. He probably didn't hear me just call him slow. Let me just stab him in the back.
Well, obviously we're gonna see in this thing, how it was essentially like a test or like a training thing or something. But it's just
I gotta say,
it's just
yeah. Sorry, go on.
It was just to me I like I get the idea, the fake out thing to trick him and showcase Craven's skills as a hunter. It's just that one thing. It's just you have the jacket hanging in there. I would think, especially if you're getting in close to stab it, you would probably start to notice some things. Wait a minute, this jacket does not have a person in it. Uh-oh.
And already, right, this villain is better than Mr. Frickin' Negative. I don't know, Mr. Negative was just bland to me. But Craven here, he's more popular. He's more recognizable, and the way he looks, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Well, yeah,
I don't suspect Aaron Taylor Johnson will look this way in his movie. Can't wait for that.
Well, yeah, I think with Mr. Negative, they kind of had to sort of remake and remold him to fit the universe of the game and the story they wanted to work with. With Craven, his whole shtick and his pattern is pretty friendly to use in almost anything, just because it's hey, he's gonna hunt people, so it's pretty digestible. It's pretty easy. It just goes with anything, It's just it's pretty simple. It's okay, well, I want to have Craven go fight Spider-Man, or I'm gonna have Craven hunt Black Panther or some shit. It's just simple.
Yeah, definitely. He just meshes well with everything. I mean, and they established his shtick, his whole shtick of hunting people from the get-go. I can compliment this introduction so much, and I love the way he looks. I love this introduction. I think by far Craven is my favorite thing in this gameplay reveal trailer. I think, probably.
Yeah, and of course the design is it's got a nice blend of modern game style along with the classic comics, because it's you get the lion vest, even though it looks more like an armor bulletproof thing that he's wearing, but it's still got the pattern that kind of, if you squint at it, you can kind of see the lion eye look to it.
Definitely. Yeah, I love it. Let's carry on. The music is just perfect.
It is pretty good music.
All right.
I've been in your shadow for hours, but you sense nothing.
You can just tell the dissatisfaction in his voice, essentially. Which is interesting because Spider-Man would be a real challenge for him. Spider-Man would be a real challenge for him because he has a spider sense, and he can probably sense you even if he's not, even if your prey isn't looking at you, essentially. So that's what probably is going to excite him, from the get-go, setting stuff up, essentially. How can you not detect me if I'm that stealthy?
Yeah, that's just the thing. It's just with Craven, it's up until he sees Spider-Man, it's he has practically conquered just about every type of prey that there has been, even people at this point, so it's just he's growing bored. He's like losing the thrill, the fun, the enjoyable like stuff. But now he's gonna get presented with this new found set of challenges and new goals to obtain too. Because it's like.
On that note says, remember when Craven was rumored to be villain of No Way? Yes, I do remember, and that was before even the title reveal of it being No Way Home. I'm glad they did what they did with No Way Home. To be honest, though, like I did not expect
Worked out.
them to wheel out.
Yeah, worked out pretty well for it.
Yeah, definitely. Because I can't say. I mean, Mysterio was good. Vulture was good. I suppose they would do a good job with Craven as well. Casting wise as well.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be like happy with Tom Holland facing him essentially.
I think they probably would have needed to do a little bit more work on him, but yeah. But any hoot.
Yep. Let's carry on.
Pathetic.
Yep, I'm going to snap your neck so we don't get an M rating for blood.
That's actually a good spot there. Is that the way they did that? I was like wondering why did you strangle him? That's probably the slowest way to do it.
If this was an M-rated game, Craven would have taken that knife and like skinned him alive or something.
Oh, I would have guessed that it would slash his throat or something. I don't know. If he was behind him instead.
Yeah, he would have used the knife on him, but like this is like your advertiser friendly way of killing a guy without showcasing blood.
The little Craven gonna be villain for Spider-Man? No, I'm afraid so. No, purely because of the Aaron Taylor Johnson and Russell Crowe movie that Sony is doing. It's rated 15 for some reason. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's the deal with that. It's just a thing. It'll happen, and that's about it.
It's gonna be like Morbius. Everyone is going to forget about it. Yeah. Probably. I did a video on this, and now Craven's an animal. Yeah. He's wearing a lion's vest. Do you reckon he loved that animal that he killed? Probably not. But yeah. I reckon it'll be Scorpion for the fourth one. I reckon so. That would be my guess. But anyway, getting distracted. Again. Oh no, he has a ponytail. We can see it.
No, that's a man bun.
Oh no, even worse. Dun dun dun. You know what?
Yeah, we gotta cut that off.
And vegan, lol. Yeah. I mean that man bun, vegan. It makes sense,
No.
Vegans love man buns.
Unless you're like a samurai with it, you take that shit off.
You're very anti man bun, then, Mr.Bug.
I've literally made a meme of Quarter Black Garrett getting his man bun cut off. Okay. So it was. So I want to point out the design of Craven. Like besides the man bun, whatever. But it like look at the vest. It's still got like the lion looking design in it, even without it being a lion. It's this perfect mixture of like slightly modern gamified textures, but still like comic based, comic accurate. It's just like you got the mane, you got the vest that looks kind of like a lion, even with the little eye. It's perfect. It's a good design. I like the balance.
Yeah, definitely. And I noticed that the skull is on one shoulder and not the other. I thought, why not make it symmetrical? On two. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that's just like a design choice. Sometimes it's just like sometimes you want the skull on one shoulder or the other. I don't know. Maybe it's like a dominant thing. Like you put it on your dominant arm, like because Craven Boy is choking him out with his right hand. So maybe that's just a hunter thing. It's like you put the beast the beast that you killed, you make that your dominant hand because that's
Yeah,
the hand that does
true.
dirty work, maybe, or maybe it's just cool design and I'm just reading into it too much.
No, yeah, I know, I know. How about bringing Tombstone? Now, Tombstone's a cool villain.
Yes, he is.
Definitely underrated, severely so. I did like him in Spider-Man, but I think Tombstone should be more thuggish. I think not a boss. What do you think, Mr.Bug, about Tombstone?
I think I
I think
think
he
I
should be
like
Mr.Bug
I
more so.
I think I kind of liked his. Honestly, you can't really top the Spectacular Spider-Man
hmm
version for me, which was like I mean that one was pretty okay. I like Tombstone being kind of in the middle ground of criminals, like where he's not like kingpin level high, but he's not like hired goon. He's like kind of in that middle. Like he's like a
hmm
lieutenant. Like if there was a hierarchy, you'd have kingpin, then you'd have like hammerhead and tombstone, and then below that you have like the goons. Like
hmm
your Sinister Six guys or whatever.
Uh, yeah, and then I know you're talking about Spider-Man 4. Yeah, we're just talking about Tombstone in general.
Yeah.
Because
Also,
he'd be much
do you,
yeah, he'd be much more of a henchman, I think, than a
yeah.
main villain.
Well, yeah.
And
Also,
Scorpion, I think, would be the main. Yeah,
True Paul.
yeah,
Can you ramble for a couple minutes?
yeah.
I need to do the thing.
All right, yeah, sure. I'll just
Thanks.
go through a bit of the gameplay footage because a little behind, but yeah. Uh,
I asked for an equal. And this is what you find.
you can just really see the disgust in his voice, essentially. I'll give him like a perfect bit, and you can definitely see that he has like kind of like a Russian accent, which I pretty much like. And you also have Kramen's little thugs as well here, which I like. I very much like. Uh, get Tombstone wearing that outfit from the 90s animated series. 90s animated series. All right, I'm gonna Google that real quick. I can't remember Tombstone being in it. I didn't watch. I think I only watched as a kid the first season with Venom. Uh, can't remember. He was probably with Kingpin, right? Tombstone. Oh yeah, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah, he's got kind of got like this thing around his neck. It kind of looks like a Doctor Strange thing, or something like Morbius would wear. Very muscly in the 90s. Yeah, definitely. I see what you mean. Yeah. It's probably. I'm not sure he usually wore suits in the comics and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. Uh, uh, yeah. I want to just to quickly double check something. Is the volume too low for you guys? Hopefully it isn't, but just wanted to. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's carry on with the video.
Sir, perhaps a new hunting ground.
That's interesting that he would say that. That's an interesting choice of words. Maybe there's other hunting grounds as well that Craven hunted in, not just in the Amazon jungle. And yeah, it makes sense that Craven has his own crew, essentially. I definitely think like Craven is the type of guy who hunts people, and he definitely has wide open. That makes sense to me, and you know. In Spider-Man games, you always need some thugs to punch, and yeah, it makes sense that it would be Kraven. Thing I'm not too sure about is like Where's his girlfriend? I'm pretty sure Craven has a girlfriend. Not completely forgot the name of her. Calypso, maybe. I'll ask Bug when he comes back. That's definitely something to think about. But yeah, let's see the screen here of the people that he points out. This henchman. So it's Manhattan. So yep, we've got Black Cat here. Black Cat, hot or not in the Spider-Man DLC? Yay or nay, chat? You know what? I'm gonna put up a poll. What you guys would thoughts be on the Black Cat outfit? Yay or nay? Right, it's because I'm very interested because you know how in games they always essentially not reveal the skin as much as possible. Now there's no essentially skin reveal with Black Cat in the game. I'm pretty sure, but it is a skin tight outfit. So which is why I'm asking yay or nay.
No, I'm back.
Hello. I was just
Hello.
asking my chat about Catwoman. Catwoman, not about Catwoman. Black Cat, yay or nay on. Okay,
suit?
100% yay. Okay, interesting. Because they're not showing any skin on Black Cat, which is a very much a shame.
Yeah, the that's a thing to like hide from it. But I think it's just a make up
Yeah.
for the fact that the design of Catwoman, Black Cat, the makeup for the lack of skin by
Woodbank,
just making her dummy. They just make her dummy thick,
Yeah.
which just
Well,
like and they can't
that's the right
complain
answer
about
right
it because it's like, well, because she's basically covered, so it's like, what you can't complain. It's like,
Black
I'm
Cat
sorry
is a
that
very
she's-
sexy character. You can't get away with not making it a sexy design. Like, yeah, we don't have any skin, but okay, it works. I reckon the outfit it works.
It works. So did I
Yeah.
miss anything else?
Essentially, Craven has henchmen, and I thought, okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense because the game obviously needs needs people to punch, Spider-Man to punch, essentially. And
Yeah,
I
you
was like
kinda...
wondering where Craven's girlfriend is. I'm not sure what was the name. Calypso the Huntress. One commentator is saying here. The letter.
Yeah.
Is that her?
Yeah, yeah, Calypso is her name. She's kind of like a
Okay.
witch doctor type character. Yeah,
Mhm.
she's always doing like voodoo and magic and stuff like that.
Yeah. Is that the last name? Yeah. The Hunter. Dear beloved, today we are joined by Mr. the Hunter and Mrs. the Hunter, and okay, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, so I mean, if she's in the game, I don't know. Maybe not. But
Would you like a redesign of the suit? By the way, Bugs, like more fur on the comics, essentially, like white fur,
well,
stuff like that.
her suit was essentially like a... If I recall correctly, her suit was essentially just like a plunging neckline of a dress. So like, I don't know, if they were to make a design for this, it'd probably be like
Yeah. I'm just thinking more comic accuracy. Anyway, let's get on. We're only on the tablet. Jeez, I should have just started with this right away.
yeah.
All right, we've got the Prowler. All right, and Wraith. So I'm guessing the cop from the last game essentially became that vigilante.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Bug. I know you like her, but I could not
Yes, I
give
do.
a shit about her in the first game. Like, give me maybe someone recognizable. I don't know, like George Stacy, and then dramatically kill him off. Gwen is nowhere to be found in these games, and Spidey has been in action for like 9 years. There's no Gwen. Stuff like this pisses me off. I'm very much so adapt it properly kind of guy. They didn't really.
It is what it is. I mean, some characters can be used, some can't. I don't know. Maybe it's just a style choice.
Yeah, but yeah, about Rafe, I don't care. I do not care. Let's see what's in it. There's Tombstone. And there's Spider-Man. That's probably the primary target Kramer's got his eye on.
I mean, it is bigger than the rest of them, so yeah.
Wait, what does it say here? Oh no! It says Spider-Man as well. Oh no!
Yeah, I
But
kind of figured that would be the case.
But I should say Miles Morales. Everyone knows him by that name. Or Arachnid Kid. Like literally, like that's gotta be confusing. Two Spider-Man in one city. Just give them different names for crying out loud. It's not so hard to give them different names. Anyway, neither there or there complaint. I can get into a little kerfuffle like that. With Mr. and Mrs. Hunter, essentially. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Anyone else in there? Okay, now this one I can't quite see.
Which one?
Let me... This one here at the bottom. Can you see it? Maybe is that any better? I
like
mean,
the bottom right where the thumb is.
Exactly. I think that might be the lizard. Probably.
Yeah, that is the lizard.
I think it's the lizard. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, let's carry on. Oh wait. I said we're doing an EFAP of this, so every fucking frame. Pardon my French. Yeah, I think it is. Oh, god damn it. Alright, never mind. It's a shame I can't do frame by frames here. I wish I could learn that. There's probably is some controls where you can...
Don't you have it on YouTube?
No, this is downloaded into StreamYard, so it doesn't buffer.
Don't you have VLC Media?
I suppose I could do that.
Well, I'd say do that for the next stream or something that way.
Yeah. I'll definitely do that. I just thought I'd use this feature from StreamYard because I don't know, it seemed useful. It's not buffered or since, so. But yeah, it'd definitely be useful to skip it frame by frame. Yeah, you can see light the fires. What does that mean? What's that code for? It's Mulan, essentially.
That's just literally a code because he's probably got so many of them spread out. Because obviously he's gonna have to have a considerable force, considering he's going to be he's gonna have new henchmen and stuff. Because he has to fulfill that Mr. Negative role. Say what you will about Mr. Negative, he served a role.
Cool. Yeah.
You kind of need your specialized henchmen to kind of make things a little more interesting instead of just the standard usual criminals. Even later in the game when you get Silver Sable's forces, they help keep things a little more interesting and whatnot. So this is what Kraven's gonna be fulfilling,
Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Yes, I agree.
Yes,
Preach.
Yep, you're preaching to the choir there. Honestly, with the characters that have been shown there, it's going to be very interesting to see how they all come into play. Because obviously, Taskmaster was shown, and I bet that's clearly going to be because you're gonna need new Taskmaster challenges because I'm pretty sure that's coming back.
Definitely. Taskmaster was so superior than anything they did in the Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
But yeah, like you're gonna have Taskmaster. You're gonna have like they showed all these other characters, like Tombstone and Kingpin, and even like Rhino and Doc Ock, even, which is like maybe those are just more like references or whatnot. But Black Cat being in there, she's clearly I bet you $1 she's gonna be in the game as in some capacity. I would not be shocked if they did bring her in, and then Wraith. I mean, given the fact that they gave her a suit, because you never got to see what she dressed up as in the DLC to the first game, where she makes her turn from being a cop to a vigilante that kills people. Like, so we're going to clearly get some missions with that. If they're main story or side mission, I don't know. I do want to continue it because I know you don't like her, True Pop. You don't really care as much, but for me, she was.
It's not that I don't like her. I just don't care about her.
Yeah, it's for me, like, she was definitely like, if there wasn't Felicia, who Peter has way better chemistry with in this game, in this universe, I would definitely be like, I kind of want him to be hanging out with Yuri more, and like maybe that being a thing, like, because like she treated him like way better in the game than Mary Jane did. So so I just have a soft spot. Also, they have like superior chemistry just because the voice actors behind them are actually married in real life.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. But so there's a lot of stuff that we could be doing, because like, especially if it's not just main story stuff, there's all side missions and things, like because it'll probably be like Craven's goons are trying to hunt down something, or maybe like Taskmaster and Craven are teaming up to do like specialized challenges, so that way you can have your Taskmaster like side quest challenge thing going on, because that's what I bet would happen. Because I don't think it's just going to be I don't think it's going to be like, oh, Craven's going to try to hunt Taskmaster. I think it's going to be like they go up against each other, and then they're just like, they go, you do challenges? I like that. Let's team up or some shit, and that'll be like your side mission.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go on.
The great hunt begins.
Obviously, Craven's motivation is in check. He likes to hunt. I think
I find the great hunt is a little interesting choice of
phrase. Yeah. Again, the music.
It's a very loaded phrase, because it's like a lot of like Craven's big like event histories is always like the Great Hunt or Craven's Last Hunt. It's always something. It's just like, it's kind of has a little oomph to it.
I definitely think this was a really good introduction to Craven, essentially. Can't wait for more. Yeah. And now, the black suit. Dun dun dun. Let's see what goes on. 6 months. Okay. It did say 6 months later.
Yeah.
So it's
obviously, I think I think it's probably going to be. I bet how the game works is. I bet how it'll work is like, you do the first mission is going to be like probably maybe saving some people from a disaster or whatever, and then it'll cut to the cutscene of Craven like stepping into the fray, and then eventually, you'll fight his goons, and that'll become like a thing, because like the first game was all about sorry, go on. The first game was all kind of like introduced stuff in phases. Even like when Otto broke out the Sinister Six and like all those prisoners, that was a third like group of bad guys to go up against that was scattered around the map. They escaped inmates. So I think that's kind of be what it's going to be. It's like you have it'll be pretty simple box standard bad guys and criminals for like probably the first hour maybe, and
Mhm.
then once you reach a certain point, then you introduce Craven's goons for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Because the thing where he jumps out of the apartment and wears the black suit, it just seems so out of place, really. Like we're put into like a middle of the story. So
I
what we're
mean,
definitely seeing is like not in chronological order, essentially.
it is pretty much what happened with the last like reveal they did for the first game with
Mhm.
that crane sequence, because that was pretty much in the middle of the game.
Yeah. Well, beginning kind of.
It's kind of the beginning, but sort of in the middle, because like that whole like helicopter chase and then webbing the crane up thing, you know.
Yeah. All right, let's carry on.
Lizard sighted in Queens. Closing in now.
Okay, pause it.
Yeah.
I think we should comment on the fact that they've expanded the map for New York. It's not just the stuff we're gonna go to. We could also go to Queens if we wanted to, and like other
I mean,
boroughs.
the fact that they haven't implemented Queens before is just like stupid. I mean, Spider-Man is from Queens. Why wouldn't you
Well,
include that? But,
I think it kind of it made somewhat sense to not have Queens, because like Peter wasn't living there anymore.
yeah.
And like by the time like, because then later on in the game he's like basically just crashing at that feast center,
Yeah,
you know.
true.
So it's like
Uh,
it makes sense there. I think like
wait, is he going back to Queens because he's picking like up Aunt May's stuff, maybe?
no, because from what it
Or do you reckon
sounds
I'm
like,
reaching with that? Okay.
I think from what, because let's actually play it, because I wanna
Mhm.
have the clip be shown before I start talking.
All right.
Cover the door. The beast could be anywhere.
Oh, so they're
Pause.
looking for the lizard.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like this is not Aunt May's house. I think this is like Connor's place.
Oh, you think it's Connor's? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's Connor's like house that he was hiding in, or maybe like,
yeah,
or maybe this was even
Harry's.
this was Aunt May's place, and like Peter was maybe stashing Connor's, but then
Mhm.
he became the
Mm.
lizard.
Yeah.
Like that's one theory.
Okay. See, my thoughts were that this was maybe Harry Osborn's, but now I think that's stupid, because yeah,
Well,
because I'm thinking because my mind is on focus on how is the black suit here in that apartment. Because I don't know if this is the first time Peter has worn the black suit.
Let's we're on actually the perfect frame here, because you
Mhm.
see that door. You see that door is already broken into.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's had chains locked around it.
Hmm.
So if this is so let's go on the theory that this is Connor's like house, and Connors was working on curing whatever that Harry is
Hang on.
afflicted with.
Wait. In
What?
that post-credit scene in the first game,
Yeah.
right? There was Harry covered in the black goo. There was
He was
Norman
covered. He was
being
covered in a
dramatic.
yeah. He was covered in like green juice, and the symbiote was in there with him.
Yes. And was Dr. Connors in there too? Do you
Connors
remember? I'm pretty sure he was in there somewhere.
Here's the thing. He isn't mentioned in the first game, but if you play Miles Morales, he's in the post-credit scene for that. When
There we go. All right, we need to
that-
Google that quick.
yeah, that's because
I'm gonna shut up.
as I played through it, like when you beat the game and you get the post-credit scene, like
Hmm?
Norman basically tells Kurt to like wake Harry up, because it's time to like, see if they can find the cure or whatever for him.
Morales post-credit scene. All right, yeah. Let's share that real quick. I remember that well. Alright, let me just okay. Let me just share that bit for a bit. Dioletto in the chat says Peter had a seal on the vial and got out. That okay, maybe he was in Oscorp.
Well, probably.
Harry's disease or Connor's regeneration stuff. Okay, that makes sense because Connors was working to regenerate his arm.
Yeah, and I would imagine that's like a reason why Norman grabbed him to work on Harry, because it's like he's like, "Whoa, you're working on this big thing, so it's like, can you help me out with Harry, and then I'll fund you or whatever?" Because it's in the first game establishes that Norman is definitely an opportunist that will use anybody to his advantage. You know, Otto was like the prime example of such things.
Mm-hmm. All right, I've got it here. Let's watch it. That's Harry.
Yep.
Like green stuff. You don't know exactly what you're looking at, essentially.
Well, yeah.
Why the hell heal someone like this? It's not normal.
I mean, well, the game is not normal. I think it's like whatever superhero disease thing they got. Like, obviously, Norman is doing everything he can, so he's probably got like it's maybe the Goblin formula is what the green stuff I'm thinking is, and then the symbiote is there. Now, the one little question I gotta know is: are we going with the alien, or are we going with the like genetically engineered like cure for cancer thing that they did in the Ultimate Universe? Because
yeah. That's my thought. It's exactly. I was just about to ask you that. Do you reckon it's alien, or did Peter's father make it? Are they going Ultimates or Secret Wars essentially? I don't mind either of them. Either way.
Yeah, I think like either choice works, because I could definitely believe that Norman would seek out this alien thing and try to use it to his own benefit, whether if it was to profit for his company or to heal his son. And if it's like a genetic thing that they whipped up in a lab, like that also works. So it's like both work just fine.
Yeah.
I would say
you can have
maybe,
a mix up of the two. Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably have a mix up of the two. If you ask me which I would prefer, I'm a sucker for the classic, so I would definitely go for the alien, just because it feels a lot better, and it kind of like makes way more sense, especially if we're gonna do like Peter starts like referring to himself as like we or like or us or type thing. It just makes more sense to me instead of a medical thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's go through this little scene here. I'll play it more. So yeah, this is like a Harry Osborn perspective, essentially. Where I'm guessing from. Okay. No one cares about the what went on in Miles Morales. We just care about this post-credit scene, to be honest. Like nothing eventful happened in there. They race swapped the Tinkerer, and she was the villain. Blah blah blah.
Well, yeah,
no one cares.
Because Miles doesn't have his own villains.
Yeah, that's stupid. They're pushing Miles so hard, man. Trying to make him popular. He's never gonna carry a stick to Spider-Man.
No, you just can't.
And yeah, that's probably Dr. Connors right there without the arm.
Yep.
Does he not remind you of Kevin Spacey a little bit? Is that just me?
What, Norman?
Yes.
Norman actually looked a lot more like the actor Robert Redford to me.
Really? Oh, okay. I can see that too. Do you reckon he will have the glider or Harry?
That is the big question, because with everything that's going on, and all the hints that they leave out, because it's Green Goblin and Venom, two of Spider-Man's biggest enemies, undoubtedly in his entire rogues gallery, is missing, and I don't know. It's like we could get Harry being Venom, or being Goblin, or it could be Harry becomes Venom, Norman becomes Green Goblin. Both
I could see Norman becoming Venom too.
I don't know. I feel like that's a little.
They might be
silly.
like duping us. Like, be prepared, essentially.
I think that's like I think that's just the thing. They're probably expecting like because they laid out the bits that there are stuff that Norman could become the Goblin or Harry could be Venom, because they bank on like a lot of comic fans like trying to predict how this is going to go. So I would think logically if we don't have an Eddie Brock to fulfill in this role, it's probably going to be like Harry becomes Venom and Norman becomes Green Goblin, or like, or maybe
They might even do a Hobgoblin before they go. Imagine that.
I don't. Oh god, don't do Hobgoblin before you get the green, because that defeats like the purpose. Like the point of Hobgoblin was like he was a goon. He was someone that found like Goblin's stash. That's the whole point of it. Like you need to establish the original before you whip up the copycat. Right. Let's continue on this. I don't want to.
Let's see what they say.
Long.
Yeah, no worries.
Vitals are good. Circulatory system healthy.
Yeah, thank God for subtitles here. I don't think we would have known, but I think we would have guessed with the arm.
I mean, I already knew. I already knew because I saw it.
All right.
Brain activity normal.
He's been in there long enough.
Mr. Osborn, I understand he's your son, but his disease could.
Kurt.
Well, we may be.
Okay, so there's a name drop. So they obviously want us to know that he's good.
Yeah.
Underestimating the potential danger.
I said, get him out now.
All right. Potential danger of what? The thing that's on him? Hey, maybe he was involved in an accident where the thing landed on him, like a meteor thing. I mean, that'd be incredibly unlucky, but
I mean, that could be the case. Like, there's so much that could be done with the premise, and even later on in the gameplay footage, they talk about Harry dying. So I don't know. Maybe it's kind of like the symbiote is like sort of keeping him stable, but it's not exactly curing the affliction.
Ultimate Comics, it literally it's eating the person if it's getting hungry enough, the host. If it doesn't eat people.
That was for the Ultimates. Like for main universe, Eddie had cancer, and then the symbiote was like getting rid of that for him. So like, my theory would be like maybe the symbiote is like the only thing keeping him like intact and it's stable enough, but it's not like actually getting rid of the disease. It's just more or less just putting a pause on it, and maybe Connor's either like getting tired of getting pushed around by Norman or something, like he's just trying to do his own thing, takes the symbiote away, and that probably is how Peter gets it, and he doesn't know about the whole thing with Harry needing it yet. He just knows that Connors is like someone that can help him out. And then my theory would be for Harry to become Goblin is like Norman that Norman would just like super dose him with like Goblin formula as like just to try to like help him, and this maybe like messes up his head and just like he just goes full ape shit. That's my theory. And Insomniac, if I predict this plot to a T, you could just send me a check in the mail, okay?
All right, in the mail. All right, I'll let them know. I work with them. I constantly berate them and send them letters of how shit their adaptation is on some parts. But yeah, neither here or there. little sad music there of Norman just looking at them. And would this be suggesting that Harry can still see them essentially and hear them?
Well, I think I think that was
He's
kind of
he's in a conscious state essentially. So this is probably has to be stuck for him.
Well, of course it is. He's like living the fucking Darth Vader treatment. He's got to stay in his little bacta tank.
So yeah, no wonder the dad is maybe like, yeah, maybe I gotta stop this essentially. I think was that it?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Okay, so they essentially just name dropped. Oh yeah, rest of the shit is just Miles. All right, no one cares.
But
all right,
yeah,
so they already hinted at.
Yeah, they were already hinting at Connor's being involved. So, and if if my theory that Peter is not at Aunt May's house is that.
All right. Yeah, go on.
If this is like Connor's like house, you know, like clearly that little thing he was breaking that Peter broke into was probably Connor's like little hidden lab, and like probably he has.
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah,
I bet Peter finds out about Harry because like Connors has like audio logs and stuff, kind of like that scene when you find the Sinister Six like hideout, and Otto's got basically all these like logs about how he talks about how he got a hold of all of the Sinister Six crew and just like talked them into joining the team.
Yeah, I'm guessing, by the way, Otto is keeping quiet about Peter's identity, essentially. Which I'm like thinking, why? Well, no one would anyone believe him?
I think it's like a combination of like who would believe him, and also it might be a bit of pride because it'd be kind of like, well, I don't want to give anyone else the satisfaction of beating him, so I'm going to do it myself. Like because that's what I would assume.
I think he can always use it to his advantage. Like maybe, I don't know, give it to the media. Then his life is in trouble. He can certainly make things difficult for him and stuff like that.
I think that's just for me, like the way it would be is like Otto would want to have it done in a way that he feels is fitting. Like, I think just like giving it away to the media or like just telling some random hobo on the street to like go shank Peter when he's like on the toilet or something is just like isn't like elegant enough. It's not classy enough. It's
come on, fitting. Fuck elegancy and go.
You're talking about a supervillain who prides himself on being like the most intelligent being in all of existence.
I don't buy it.
Like this guy, like come on, Spectacular Spider-Man had Otto be like a pretentious, like smart ass, like even by like calling Peter arachnid, you know, when everyone else would just call him an insect, you know, because he just obviously he would say that because it showcases like, yes, I obviously know that spiders are not insects; they are arachnids, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yes, is it pretty stupid and like
inconvenient?
And, like, not inconvenient, yes, but again, supervillains are dramatic, narcissistic little bitches.
I suppose so. Still, they're not off the hook for that. Bad writing.
It's not off the hook, but it's just the way it is.
Right, let's carry on.
The beast could be anywhere.
Yeah, so they're probably talking about Lizard.
There it is.
I have no idea.
So let's talk about that suit.
Yeah. Let me just get it. The thumbnail. There we go. I mean, that's good enough. What do you think? All right. First, I'll hear your thoughts, and I'll give mine.
Well, actually, honestly, I kind of like it. You know, it's like there's a lot of factors to why I kind of like this. Like, I like the oily like look of it. Like it really looks like this black tar, like fleshy substance over him. I don't mind the like more textures in the like the arms,
Mhm.
and I like that it's just basically the indents and all that. It's just on top of the existing suit. That's why he's got like the shoulder pad looks and all that.
Yeah, I've seen. I not that I've seen, but I've heard about people complaining about other people complaining that this suit has shoulder pads and stuff like that. And I'm like, that sounds
It's
incredibly
it's it's
stupid.
it's
I
just
have never
people.
seen people complain
It,
about that, and it's just like,
I have seen people I've seen some people talk about how this makes him look like Agent Venom, and it's like, dude, this does not look like Agent Venom.
that's a good
Okay,
thing. I would say that's a good thing.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
that's
like
not entirely a bad thing.
and it's also like, dude, everyone had the same issues with the Insomniac suit for the first game, and
Yeah.
guess what happens? You can swap the suits out literally
Yeah.
the second you get a chance.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's like, guess what? We have the black suit. You don't think they're gonna put out a comic accurate black suit?
Mm.
Like they're already
Do
gonna
you
have.
reckon there'll be a variant of the black suit in the skins?
Without a doubt, there's gonna be the classic comic book suit. There'll probably be like that cell shaded like suit design like they did in the first game.
Imagine if they don't have the black suit Sam Raimi Spider-Man suit. That'd be funny.
Ooh,
Like, we're just
I
gonna
think they-
we're just
I
gonna
think they're-
prank you because we didn't. I know everyone was asking for the Raimi suit, and they essentially caved in.
Well,
Imagine if they don't do it essentially at launch.
I
That'd be
feel
funny.
like they're gonna. I think they're gonna have. I think they will do it because
They
they
have to.
realize people want the movie
Mhm.
suits, and they eventually did make all of the movie suits for all of the Spidey movie characters. So it was like, yeah, and even eventually, even the comic book stuff like Fantastic Bagman and the Future Foundation suit, which was like suits no one thought they were ever gonna do, but they did. So I wouldn't be shocked if they make some like good comic accurate suits, at least for the symbiote. It just there's no doubt in my mind. I bet you I wouldn't even put it past them to like not put Agent Venom as a suit for the design.
I
Like-
love the logo, by the way.
It's
the
the
crest.
logos. Yeah, it just looks real nice and clean.
Hey, do you reckon they planned this?
Planned what?
Having the white logo on the Spider-Man suit, so that it would kind of make sense in this suit.
I mean, that could make some sense actually. Like in a practical sense, because if it's an alien or whatever, it would imprint itself on the suit.
Yeah, and that's why it has the pads essentially and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it has the pads and the logo, which is just because obviously the logo would probably be a lot more. It'd be pronounced and like rised, so it's creating that indent.
I'm just so happy to see a logo on the freaking symbiote suit because the freaking meta movies don't bother with it, And it looks really good.
It was this is definitely like very nice. And from what I've seen, it's I've seen in like a clip of this where it seems like the spider symbol shifts very drastically, so it's going to adjust to whatever spider suit you have equipped at the time. So that way it will immediately change into the current logo we got here. So I think you might, the way that this gameplay is looking, you might be able to like say, I got the Spider-Man Noir suit on, but now I'm going to equip the symbiote and have it overlay.
Yeah. Once we get to the symbiote combat, I'm gonna play a little clip that I prepared. I'm not too keen on the combat of the black suit. I'm kind of a little disappointed
Right, but
That's probably because
let's
yeah,
table that. What
yeah.
was your general thoughts on this suit?
I like it. I very much like it. Um, by the way, everyone, pay attention to the eyes. They look like this here now, but let's just say they'll change a little towards the end of the video. Yeah, I just thought that's a little. Uh, Spiderman was just doing blackface for a moment. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
No idea. This whole lizard hunt ends now!
Okay. So black webbing as well as we saw there,
Yeah.
which is great, and it's probably not webbing. That's probably like a symbiote goo, and then you shoot like tendrils instead of like. I think already from what I can see, it's only a change in animation, essentially. Like you could probably do like a knockout move like that with the red suit as well. You just wouldn't have the black tentacles.
Maybe, probably.
Yeah,
It's hard
that's
to
what I'm
say.
noticing. That it doesn't seem like it seems a little lifeless, like more so aesthetic than actual substance with the black tentacles.
Maybe this is one of those cases where it's like you need to have your hand on the wheel to see
Yeah.
how effective this is, because like
That's my main concern, by the way.
looking at this from an outside perspective, it just like you can't tell much, but I can say that it is very pretty to look at, especially when you have Spider-Man doing these like crazy moves. Like one thing I liked, because I never played Web of Shadows, unfortunately. I played Shattered Dimensions, and whenever you got to play with Ultimate Spider-Man, because he had the symbiote, so whenever like you're using like heavy attacks or special moves, you're always like whipping out giant tendrils and slapping people like halfway across the room, and it like really felt fun and exciting. You just felt like the raw power of
exactly.
using the symbiote.
Yes. I just hope that there's a substantive difference between the red suit and the black suit, essentially.
Yeah, they have a lot to work out there, because it's like not only because you have two Spider-Men to play as, but for Peter,
just get rid of Miles, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I know, but they won't do that.
They want to push him. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's just from the higher ups. But yeah, like you have for Peter, it's like you obviously got to have a perfect balance to this. It's like you got to show how he is when he's like normal, and then when you get the black suit out, like you got to demonstrate the changes not just in like animations, but in like certain gameplay. Like I don't know, maybe Peter is a lot more agile. It is like normal, but then when he whips out the black suit, he's like more brawler, aggressive, feral. Like he's got to go more up close. He's not doing like long range stuff. He's like getting like real in your face type shit, baby.
Yeah. All right. Let's carry on. Let's see more of this.
Leave Connors alone.
Okay. I like that.
What I do like how when he turns into the ball of spaghetti, you can see the red suit beneath it. You know, it's a nice little touch, and I do hope that maybe that is something that sticks around no matter what suit you got, because it's just a nice little like thing to have. Little touch.
Did I ever mention to you? I probably might have tweeted it, but I freaking hate the triangle square feature.
Oh,
I hate
yeah,
it.
that's been a thing for a lot of games, because they've always been trying to like
literally
milk off
all
of...
people do is essentially they don't get creative because of that, right? Because all you do is punch them up a little bit, charge up your meter, triangle O, punch up a little bit, charge up your meter, and it literally there's no creativity. Most players essentially, I guarantee it, just play that kind of style, pressing triangle and O, and
yeah, it is
not
what it is. Like that style, like Batman Arkham started that up. albeit granted, Arkham
The
had a
thing is,
little more.
it's for some reason it's not as annoying in Arkham. Like
Well,
sometimes you
I think
forget to do it. You
I think
know.
it's because in Arkham there's a little more variety instead of
Mhm.
just like your instant takedown.
And
It's like
instead,
you
in
have.
Spider-Man, it's like the main focal point for some reason, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I think that they probably could have done with maybe some variety because in Arkham there was you have your instant takedowns, but then
Yeah.
of course there's like you have moves where you could disarm
Yeah.
and
Okay.
disable weapons of certain stuff. Like you could break the riot shields, you could disarm
Yeah.
a rifle so that way they can't pick it
Yeah.
up.
How
You get all
about
these different stuff.
you just remove it? I'm not saying the takedown itself, just the
I
layout
would.
above their head.
I think you can't remove it. I think what you need to do is add variety. You need to add more things to it because the style is already too ingrained into it. You can't remove it unless you have something a lot
Yeah.
more sufficient to it. So
Yeah.
you need to have.
I'm just saying, like the button display. Don't show it. Essentially, you can still do it, just don't show it above their head, and maybe people would get creative a little more.
It's not the takedown thing you're worried about. It's just the button prompt. You want it to be more like Arkham, where you have like your multiplier thing in the corner, and then when it like starts glowing, it tells you, "Hey, you could do a move." Because you've
either
built up
disarm
enough
them
energy.
or take them down. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that probably would be that could work. I understand that. Like, yeah.
I'm just thinking of things to work around it more, to make it more subtle. Because right now it's in your face and obvious, and people use it all the time, and nothing else. And it'd be good to get people to do different stuff, essentially. All right, let's go on a little further. Let's see the other moves as well. Before I play a little clip of something. Yeah, that's the takedown animation, and that's just that's just a standard, QTE. I'm not impressed by the Robodog.
Crazy wants to hunt? I'll give him one he'll never forget!
Yeah, another takedown animation.
He's gonna wish he never came to New York.
Let's listen to that line again, by the way.
He's gonna wish he
Never came to New York. Yeah, that voice acting right there. Let me play. You know what that reminds me of, Mr.Bug?
Get back here, Shocker! Shocker! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the end of the earth!
I see. I just hear Yuri embracing his inner black suit Spider-Man. I mean, preach.
Of course. Plus, he's apparently he's done Sasuke from Naruto, so it's probably just him channeling his like inner anime voice acting gigs for this one.
All right. Objectively, I would say okay, that was probably bad acting, but I grew up on the animated series, so I like it. It reminds me of that. So,
Yeah, I think it's fine. Because obviously you need to you kind of have to hammer in how different the portrayal of Peter is going to be with the suit, because obviously it's going to affect him, it's going to change him.
Definitely.
So it's like, you need to have him talk a little more edgier. You need to have him be a little more angrier. Like that,
embracing his Bully Maguire essentially, and El Cazador saying here, acting exactly. Acting.
He has to embrace the bully in Maguire in him. That's what he's got to do. Because like that's just how it is. He's like the black suit Spider-Man is basically just Spider-Man when he's not cracking the jokes. If he doesn't crack a joke, you're in for something bad. It's like if you see Batman smile. You see Batman smile, it's like, oh god, run!
Sorry about the noise, everyone. Yeah, there we go. I wanted to say, black webbing as well in there.
It's a nice touch. It works pretty well.
Do you want me to increase this by any chance? Like up the resolution? No. Not resolution. I mean the bigness of it. Hang on. Give me a second. I'm just going to just a little bit to maybe get us in the corner. There we go. 1 second. Do you like that a little bit more?
Yeah, it looks pretty fun.
All right. Yeah. Hopefully we won't be covering it in this corner or anything. If not, I'll just revert to the last one.
Oh, that'll just be like some useless prompt, anyways.
All right. Let's just see. I was interested in this move.
Oh yeah.
All right. To me, that move reminds me of when you press O, and then do the beatdown, of the thug in Batman Arkham.
Oh yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that. Just up against the wall.
I hope it's like I hope that's like a thing that you could do more often. I like the idea of like situational takedowns where if you're near a certain something, you can do a takedown that's not normal. Like the Yakuza series does that, where it's like if you're near a certain part of the map or if you have a certain item, you will do a very special, like unique like takedown of an enemy, and it's always like flashy and fun. So if it's something like this where it's like I want to see something where like you're in the city and you're like fighting a guy and you're about to do the takedown and you like punch him through like a glass window into like a shop or something, and that's like your takedown,
Yeah. See, you're
like,
thinking of ideas in Insomniac has.
Well, yeah, or like if you're near a car, like you just have like Peter like grab the door and just whip someone across the face with that thing, just certain things, Now I don't know if they're gonna do that, but it would be cool if they did.
All right, let's carry on. Now that's an interesting move.
I honestly I do like that. I just like the idea of just like picking them up and just like slamming them down on the ground.
But I can't help but think that you can probably do that in the red suit, but that takedown is just going to look differently.
Maybe I think
so. It's kind of like a copy and paste between the red. That's my main concern. That's why I was not that impressed with this back suit gameplay, because I'm just like, hang on, is this just the same stuff with the red suit, just different animation essentially?
Well, I think probably not. I think if they use the first game as a basis, it'll probably be like the red suit relies on the gadgetry and stuff, and then black suit is like where you get like the more crazier like natural.
Yeah. Okay. So he just talks in here. So this is where I wanted to play this little clip. This little interesting clip. The right one. Yeah. So don't know if you heard of a little game. It's one of my favorite games. Web of Shadows, Spider-Man. Now, in this game, the story, it's a good idea, but it's shit. The characters, they have shit dialogue, and they're pretty shit too. This red Spider-Man design is pretty shit. The black suit looks cool, but what? So why do I like this game? If everything I said up to now, I said is shit. Well,
I assume it's the gameplay.
Yes, the gameplay just does not get boring. More specifically, the combat. Like literally, you can spend like easily. All you do is fight in the game, and it never gets boring. When I fight in Spider-Man, I do eventually get bored of it. And here's what one of the guys behind making the combat had to say about what he made, and I thought it'd be interesting to play because I was kind of underwhelmed with what I saw combat-wise from the black suit, and I thought you guys should see maybe that what Web of Shadows has to offer with the black suit, because I think the black suit in Web of Shadows is fundamentally different in than the red one, and you can switch between them all the time. It's really easy. I wonder if that'll be a feature in the game where you can switch between the black and red suit
I
easily.
hope so.
Maybe, but I'm not too sure on that. Because of the switching between Miles and Spider-Man.
Well, I would say it's. I would say
Do you
it
think
has
they'd be
to
like
an option.
overloading it essentially? Like
I don't think so. I think like it makes. I think if anything, they'll just probably have to figure out something to balance it by giving Miles something for them to like match up to Peter having the black suit. So they'll probably give him something like, I don't know, maybe some new gadgets or something. I don't freaking know, because that's what I would think. I think if they were to, because it'd be really silly to not have like, especially if this is going to be PS5, so it's not held back by any limitations at the PS4. I would say it would be cool to have that like mode to be able to change it to the regular suit and then the black suit, especially if you want to be able to see like what the animation is going to look like if you don't have the standard Insomniac suit. Like you want to see what it looks like when you like use a certain suit and it just changes.
all right, let's get on with this video.
The combat system in Web of Shadows is where we spent the bulk of the time in development.
Oh, you can definitely tell. You didn't spend a dime on probably voice acting as well on that part, especially for Peter. I don't like his voice at all. I think he does a bad job.
And really encompasses so many different avenues of game development. Our idea was craft a combat system where the player is constantly moving. So we
definitely feels like
the player to be bouncing off of enemy to enemy, jumping up on walls, jumping off, hitting a guy up in the air, fighting in the air, web swinging to a different guy. It's just this constant flow, much the same as if you were doing a line in Tony Hawk. I have been playing for 1,000 hours, and it is this constant zen-like thing to just get back and just fight 20 guys, and it is something that's just endlessly fun that I'm really proud of. One of the real innovative moves that we have, we call the web strike. That's really a move where you
it seems
latch
innovative
onto the
on the
opponent with your
surface, but
webs
it's
and
not
pull
really. It's
yourself
kind of
towards
quite
them.
simple,
And
to
then
be honest.
right at the moment of impact, you have to basically hit another attack button in much way like it's a timing mechanism, like a golf swing almost. It's just something that when you do it and you hit the guy, it just feels right. It really feels like you hit him. So it really is about as far as from a button masher as you can make something. The black suit is much more focused.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the red suit doesn't throw cars. Not entirely sure, but from a lore standpoint, Spider-Man should be able to lift cars too. I can't remember.
No, I think probably it's just like Spider-Man just wouldn't recklessly throw cars normally, while the black suit just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, true.
Based on brute strength and kind of brutality.
You can definitely feel that in the game, and I don't.
Okay, so that was basically
feel
what
it.
I was trying to think what they would do for the Insomniac one. That like black suit gameplay would be more hardcore, brutal. Like, I'm going to get in your face, and you will not like it.
Definitely.
Made a lot of the moves context sensitive. So while X on the ground is your X chain and does some awesome ground attacks, if you jump up in the air, it does a host of other air attacks.
Yeah, exactly. So there's all sorts to it. You can attack in the air. There's like a move set in the air. On the ground, there's a move set. While you're climbing as well, there's also a different fighting moveset. There's so many layers to it, and there's such a difference between the red suit and the black suit as well.
The advanced players, as you move throughout the game, are really going to have to learn to master blocking and countering to really get through some of the tougher boss fights.
I never blocked.
As you
Never.
upgrade your character, you not only can purchase brand new moves, but you can also
I love this
increase
move.
the ability of moves that you've already
Like
purchased.
that stomp and the whip.
So let's
Ah,
look at the combat system, and we're
I want that in this Spider-Man game. Essentially, where he just stomps the ground like the whole earth shake. It's kind of like it's kind of like an anime in a sort of way.
I think like another. I think it's. I want to bring up like Shattered Dimensions because,
Mhm.
like not only could you do like real crazy shit with Ultimate Spider-Man, like making tendrils like erupt from the ground and do stuff, but when
Yeah.
you were playing the standard Spider-Man, the 616 one, you could do like real crazy shit. Like you could web the ground and like rip out a rock to use as like a mace against people. Like, I think they need to do. I don't know if they'll do it, but I think that's the thing they should do in this game to like really just like demonstrate like all the power and the fun that you could have as Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Now it would be cool if like if you have as the black suit, you could just like grab like a freaking chunk of the ground and just like throw it at people. It's just like
yes. It's more carelessness about the environment. Yeah.
yeah,
all
you
your
need like
surroundings.
yeah, you need to like just and I wouldn't even care if like the ground texture like has to like just do a fake crack or whatever and then just like can't like deform the ground or whatever. I don't care. I just like the visual of like I'm going to grab a rock out of the ground and just throw it at you like a monkey.
Let's play on.
really excited about it. So I hope you guys like it too. It's Spider-Man.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, we enjoyed it. Don't worry. So you made something special, dude. So I just wanted to point that out, essentially. And yeah, guess we can return to our irregular programming to get on with this one. Yeah, so that's just what I wanted to point out. The Chad that is Spider-Man Web of Shadows and the underwhelming-ish black suit gameplay. I guess at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to play it to get a real feel for it, and
Yeah.
judge it for myself rather than just a 12-minute video.
Yeah,
But,
plus like there's potential that like there's like more upgrades and stuff that you could acquire for the black suit that maybe like just have not seen yet. That might influence how the gameplay could work or feel. Maybe
Mhm.
it's just there's not much to really work off of at the moment.
All right, let's carry on.
Triangulating position. Target located at Harlem Fish Market.
Get a also look at the
Lizards across the river.
is the logo on the
I'm not
back.
gonna make it in time.
Uh,
Miles,
I
the
think it
hunters tracked
was.
Connors to the Harlem Fish Market.
Lizard. I'm on it.
So
Sounds like
on
we
that,
should-
they were showing probably off the PS5. Well, we have quick loading times. That didn't seem like a quick loading time there. It just kind of seemed to freeze a little and then switch to him. But
I mean, maybe. I guess it's just I don't know. It depends what it is. I like
Mhm.
the slingshot trick because that was
Yeah.
a thing. Although that was a thing the Spider-Man 3 did in that game.
Mhm.
So,
And Spider-Man 2 as well.
oh,
No.
I,
Oh no,
I-
I mean the movie Slingshot. Yeah,
well, it was.
I can't remember exactly the Spider-Man 3 game, but yeah.
Yeah,
Funny
I
you should
did-
say that. This whole Craven, Lizard, Black Suit story. Have you noticed this in anything?
Yeah, that was a big thing in the
Yeah.
third game.
Spider-Man
It's
3.
like, that was
yeah.
a whole plot point that like you had to find Lizard you know, and then
Do you
had a
reckon they
black
like
suit.
stole some story notes and like yoink and just pasted it in here? I mean, I don't
mean, I
mind.
would be,
I like that game.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the only thing that this is technically missing is Calypso, and also they do, later on in this they do say that Blizzard was getting bigger, and in Spider-Man 3,
Yeah.
he did kind of grow into an almost semi kaiju size.
If you
You know?
notice, like in those chains, in like the door in the attic that we first saw, it was kind of like a
Yeah.
little crack. So I'm wondering if this lizard is kind of like changing in size, essentially.
I mean, I think I did bring it up, which was like
Yeah.
that it was chained up the way it was, and Peter just broke it the way that he did. I think that's
okay.
why there was already a hole in there.
Okay.
And they already kind of like explained that he's like growing and like shedding skin, and like his appetite's getting bigger. You know, so I don't know. So it makes me think that he's definitely gonna be like probably the final boss fight for him. He'll be like a big chunky boy.
Mhm.
But yeah, the slingshot thing, I like that just because that was a thing you could do in Spider-Man 3, although you had to like go to certain buildings for it, like the
Mhm.
Daily Bugle, and it would just help you like get across the city pretty quick, especially if like the mission was like halfway across the damn town.
Yeah, definitely. Let's carry on.
We don't have much time. Move.
Now, a soon to be revealed little new feature here that I like.
Yeah,
Gliding.
I do like this. I do like
I
the
like
gliding.
this. I like the
it-
gliding, but
I-
I have
it-
one
it's a-
problem with it, and that's
is
got to
that?
be 3 or 4 seconds later, right? I think, okay, that makes absolute great sense. You swing over from high, and then you just slowly like come exactly like Batman Arkham. Literally, just copy paste it. It works. Great traversal, whatnot. I really like it. The thing I have a problem with is wait for it.
The lizard's loose at the fish market.
This
Must be sushi night.
fucking Fortnite wheels.
Oh,
Fortnite
that.
did this. I don't like that. That just
Uh,
feels like outright flying to me. You shouldn't do that. It should just be a glide mechanic. I don't like this wind tunnel bullshit. No.
I
Get rid of
mean,
that.
Yeah,
Get rid of it.
I probably if anything, it should incorporate more of the Batman Arkham style, because it's like if you wanted to get like higher altitude or higher speed, you just dive bomb and then you just pull it back up, and then you would get more air out that way, you know. And that was before, and that was without needing to like use a single grapple at the time. So I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't know if it's like I don't know. I have to see more of that. But like the gliding is real fun. I like the idea of it. It makes the traversal a lot more fresh. Add some stuff to it. The wind tunnel
and the red suit can do it too. The black suit as well.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that's not just like a locked off Miles feature.
Yeah, that would have been bad if that
would've
was the
sucked.
case. Like people would have like got riots in the streets. But yeah, the wind tunnel thing, I don't know. It's like I understand the idea of like some bits, like you want to give the player a little air boost. You know, I can understand that. Although I feel like here it's a little excessive with like they give you like 3 of these in a row, which I don't know. I think like one every now and then is fine, but I think like the 3 is a little much.
Yeah. I don't like this wind tunnel shit, but well. It just feels like too OP in terms of traversal. Because at this point, you're just flying like Superman. You know, so what's the freaking point? All right.
You still got that
swinging.
hunter drone you hijacked?
Been really tough hiding it from my mom, but yeah.
Unless
I'll boot up and see you there.
Yeah.
You know how there was a trick system in the last game where you could do like specialized tricks in the if in midair and you'd get like XP for it.
like Tony Pro Hawk essentially.
Yeah, what
do
if
you mean like that?
what if this wasn't wind tunnel just for like? What if it's not like actually giving you air boost? What if it's like a test trick thing? Like it's like see how far you could go without like using a web or like crashing or fucking up. It's like if you could get like dead center perfect like in a row.
You mean like the Arkham traversal, like the Arkham?
Yeah, the Arkham
training thing.
glide challenges, like they had those. Like if maybe it's like that, because that would make a lot more sense.
Me, it just looks like a wind tunnel, to be honest. But
yeah, but maybe that's like they're trying to like make it look flashy. I don't know.
All right, let's carry on.
They got here fast.
Now, I always love stealth in every aspect of the game. I have no complaints in here of Miles essentially doing stuff there. I'm wondering like how the symbiote suit is going to look like stealth-wise. Maybe it'll be kind of like on the more creepy side essentially.
I hope it
That'd be
does.
cool.
I hope it like turns it into like a horror game.
Yeah.
Let him find Connors, or he's done for.
So you have like these drones essentially. So you've got robo dogs and robo birds, I guess. What do you reckon about that? I mean, I suppose it's in line with the whole animal aesthetic with Craven and all.
Yeah, I think that's just probably what it is. It's just like it helps with the animal aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps to keep some variety into the mix, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Beyond that, I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, me too. I just thought that okay. I suppose that makes sense. It's kind of like you need to keep an eye on those because sometimes it's really dumb. Kind of like I'm forgetting like. There's henchmen, and then there's stuff like you just make it up on the top of your head, essentially. And I'm like, okay, how many henchmen is enough henchmen, essentially?
It's not just the henchmen; it's the henchman variety, you know, because you gotta have your goons, then you have like your heavy boys, then you have like some specialists that have like a certain attack. Then of course you're gonna have these drones to do certain stuff. Like obviously the bird is probably going to be like your stealth enemy you have to deal with, and the dogs is going to be like your combat ones, you know.
Yeah. I've noticed in here that you can essentially double take that. I'm not sure if you could do that in the first game.
You cannot.
Stupid. I'm pretty sure you could do that in the. You can do that in Arkham, so do it in here. Jeez.
Yeah, well, the Arkham
that's
didn't
good to
do
see.
that. Didn't get to do that till City. So
see, if you remove I reckon if you remove the Batmobile from Arkham Knight, people would realize how much they've upgraded the combat, the stealth, everything. Essentially, they really topped a notch since from Arkham City to Arkham Knight. They've really upped the game with the gameplay, and I think people were stuck on the Batmobile thing too much. Kind of distracted from how Batman played really well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just because it's like the final game in that series, and it's just like you whip out the Batmobile and you introduce this like whole new level of combat and gameplay to it. It just kind of like messes with the flow of how the games were going. You know, could have been handled better, but you know, it is what it is. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case here. It seems like they've given it enough tweaks.
Yeah. I'm just going to turn it down while we'll talk. And if we pause it, I'll pause it when we really need to talk about something.
Yeah.
So that's a gadget over there. And Miles' DS lightning moves.
Yeah, which like he's now got blue lightning, even though he had yellow lightning in the previous game, which makes me
And
wonder.
that just takes out everyone as well. See, that's that animation that takes out everyone. And that's essentially the animation with the black suit where it's a tendril. So I'm like, okay, that's just the same freaking move, just different animations. And yeah,
I mean, yeah,
that's what has me worried. Have you heard that the Miles has like a sword now as well?
yeah, they want to give him like all these new abilities and shit just because the Miles can't compare to Peter, you know. So they give him lightning
Vague
swords.
superpowers. That's always a good thing.
I mean, it's not like enough that he's got like electrical abilities and freaking invisibility, you know. So I don't know. It does make me like I'm curious why they changed the lightning color for Miles. Like I don't know why.
Didn't it used to be like a venom sting that just paralyzes you?
That's kind of what it was. It was like it was.
And then it changed to like, oh, electricity and bolts, even though that doesn't really make sense for a spider. Like the sting, okay, makes sense to some extent, but
yeah, like the
whole
in
lightning
the
shit
Miles.
is stupid.
Here's the thing: in the Miles Morales game, like Miles was not like using his abilities like freaking shooting thunderbolts. He was just essentially like just charging himself up with electricity, and then he would punch people with like electrically charged fists. Like that's all it was.
Undead
in the
nerd.
game.
He's race swap Cole McGrath. Do you get that joke? I don't get that joke. I'm sorry.
Cole McGrath is the main protagonist of the Infamous games. Infamous is where is like where you play a superhero character who's got electrical abilities, and that's like his whole like gameplay.
Okay, I've never played those games. Sorry, I'm the nerd. Yeah, I've heard of that game or the title of it, but sorry, I'm a nerd about it. And chat, you're throwing all sorts of references at me. I'm sorry that I'm not getting them. You know, I'm not as knowledgeable on video games as I'd like to be. I know a few stuff, but not as much as I'd like to. You know. I thought that was a goblin glider then for a split second.
Well, I thought it was a vulture thing.
Yeah. You can see it in the clone. It's kind of like a horror thing as well, because you can see.
Yeah.
And there's like skin as well, so they're definitely sticking to the whole lizard shtick of you know.
I think like the I think the bit of him like shedding skin and like
that's always cool.
Bigger is like a nice touch. Now this was cool.
Oh, this was cool, yeah.
Like that's just a cool shot.
I hope you could do that in a game. Like, you know, bust through. Yeah, the logo's on the back.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, here's something I don't like here.
Yeah? That this guy knows Pia's name.
Yeah, why the fuck would you tell him that, Miles? Like,
You
why?
Stupid idiot.
I get this guy does help you out in the Miles game, but the thing was, as far as I remember, he never told him about the other guy, like at all.
Maybe Doc Ock told the world.
No, but it's just no, clearly not. It's just like one of those things where it's just like I don't like those types of things. It's like if
Carnage is in the game, I'm gonna piss myself. Undead.
No, they ain't doing Carnage.
Nah, they're probably not. They'll probably say that.
That's a third game thing, if at all. Like, there's no way they're doing Carnage.
Piss yourself in a good way or a bad way. It can be both, by the way.
No, Carnage is too much for this. It's like you already got Craven, you got Lizard, you got Venom. You've
also got someone else. Did you hear the rumors, by the way, that this game was going to include or Doctor Doom, because that area was shown a lot essentially, on maps and shit.
No way they're not doing Doctor Doom. No way.
Really? Okay.
I mean, like,
Would you be
might get-
incredibly surprised? I mean, I did hear like a fan theory, and it sounded incredibly convincing. But yeah,
Okay, well, the thing is, if anything,
Scream,
there'll be some references, I'd imagine, because it's kind of like
Yeah.
the first game. There was references to all sorts of stuff. You had
Mm-hmm.
Avengers Tower, you had Matt Murdock's office, you had Jessica Jones's private investigations office, you
Mhm.
had the Wakandan embassy, all that stuff. Even you could visit the Sanctum Sanctorum. It's like, yes, you have references, and that's probably what it's going to be. I don't see Doctor Doom being in this.
oh,
It's
fan theory proved wrong, guys. Yeah,
I
Doctor
just don't
Doom,
see-
the
I
best
just-
Marvel. Yes, best villain in
would
general.
I would be interested to see what Insomniac does with the Doctor Doom.
Mm.
But the
I
thing
think-
is,
I reckon, if Peter goes digging about his parents, he might meet Doctor Doom. That's like a comic thing. That Peter
maybe
did confront
I-
Doctor
I-
Doom about his parents. I'm pretty sure. Or was it Red Skull? I can't remember.
I
think it
don't
was
know.
Dr. Doom.
The thing of it is just like, I don't know. I would say I would rather want Doctor Doom to show up in like an Insomniac like Fantastic Four game or something.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, considering the fact that they added bombastic Bagman in the Insomniac games,
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of. I would assume that it's probably hit their mind, especially since
Undead
they're already
Nerd
doing
said,
Wolverine.
Yeah. Undeadness says we need Scream. So we can, glamorize the beauty. She's definitely drawn in a certain kind of manner in the comics. Yeah, definitely. Just don't look her in the face. The teeth and stuff like that.
Yeah, just put a paper bag.
Yeah. We need a
Let's,
Fantastic Four game. I won't read to make Spice like in the comics. Okay,
Yeah, that gameplay would be pretty fun for that. Now let's
let's carry on.
let's carry on before I try to kill this guy.
But the date isn't complete.
Hey, I think I got a lock.
Giggy, wait, be chill. That wasn't me.
Me neither.
I don't even have a stomach, so...
That wasn't a funny joke.
No, it was kind of like
Right.
okay.
I had a theory. Do you reckon it's not Venom at all? That it's just the symbiote suit going onto the lizard?
That's too stupid.
That would suck.
Nah, that's too dumb. I don't think they would do that.
I reckon they're gonna throw like a wrench at us somehow.
I mean, they would. Like, here's the thing: the wrench in the first game was the fact that 3 of Peter's biggest enemies, Otto, Venom, and Goblin, were practically absent, from the roster up until the events of the game. So, I feel like, if anything, it's just gonna be like the wrench is gonna be like, okay, well, what's the case? Are we going to get like
Yeah, they're
no
gonna leak through the
Goblin or
Funko Pops.
Venom?
Yeah, it's gonna be the Funko Pop thing. Yeah.
I don't.
There's a comment here. I just want Spanner to screen check out GCD. Okay. Funny you should say that, by the way. Because, we have this.
Get back here, Shocker! Shocker! You can't escape
Can't
me!
escape
I'll
me.
chase you to the end!
You to the ends of the earth. I love that bit. It's really good. I just love it. I really do. Yeah, let's carry on with the video. Alright, let me play here.
Let's go.
Did you see how he walks like a dinosaur in there?
I mean, that kind of
Yeah.
works, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing is, you don't really get a good
Look at him.
look at him throughout this whole
Mhm.
thing. So it's like they kind of play it like a monster movie in a way where it's like you don't
Mhm.
ever get a good shot of him. It's like
Mm.
all the shots of him are like just so like he's in motion, or you don't really like you can't really tell how big he is in comparison to anything else. So it's just like
Fun fact: Scream is on the Spider-Man ride in the States, and there. Oh, okay. Did you know that, Buck? I mean, you're the degenerate here, so you'd obviously know that.
I don't pay attention to like the rides because I don't go to those things.
Mm. I'm glad and then Nerd noticed that too. Yeah, so walk like a dinosaur, talk like a dinosaur, walk like a. I don't know if that's a song. Probably thinking of another one, but okay. Walk like a man, talk like a man. I think that's it. Yeah, so dinosaur beat something like that.
Go, go, go! Take him alive!
Okay, hold on.
Mhm.
Take him alive.
Why? That's a good question.
Well, okay, so what if because if you think about in the beginning when Craven is talking to his guys, he goes like, "I asked for a worthy adversary, and this is what you brought me."
Ah, I
What
see where you're
if?
going with that.
So what if like the idea is that Craven's hunting all of these particular characters because he wants to like challenge them? So maybe we could potentially get like a level or a section in like a forest setting, just like or just some big like challenge or something where where Craven seals you off to
Because they need to
hunt you
donate him
down
to
himself.
science. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But that's
Nah,
all
Craven's gonna hunt
I've
him
got to say.
101.
I think yeah, that's just
Kind of
what
like a
I'm
grizzly
thinking
bear.
of. Like yeah,
Mm.
you could play it. That's just why what I just wanted to bring up.
Yeah, interesting. Could you call it that?
Can't lose Connors. Harry's dying, and he's the only one who can help. We won't.
Interesting. Kurt Connors. He's the only one who could help.
Probably because
But didn't we just see from that post-credit scene that he couldn't help? Really?
Well,
It's getting worse.
Well, I think Connors was trying to like keep Harry in that
Mhm.
container. So
But
I don't know. Maybe
here's
it's
the
like
thing. From that perspective that Harry sees, I don't think he wants to go back in there. So what Peter is going to do is essentially force, exactly like his father, force the treatment on him. And maybe that's how he'll, spite kind of Peter and then end up fighting. Like a conflict happens
I
there.
don't know about that because like the thing is you see from Harry's point of view, but it's not like you really get much to say out of that. Like that, like Norman just wanted to get him out because he thought that it was probably the
Yeah.
best course of action
Because-
for his kid. Now, I think that Connors was just trying to be safe about it because I don't know, maybe the
Yeah.
symbiote gets a little too crazy if it's not contained in the way it was
Yeah.
or something.
'Cause-
I don't know, but it's just
Yeah.
like there's a lot to handle with this.
Because the thing is, like, in the last game, Peter couldn't really help Aunt May when she was sick. And there's a parallel
Okay,
here
I see where you're
that
going with this one.
maybe that he doesn't want to do that again
No, I
to
bet
his friend,
not.
essentially. And no, he's probably, like, especially with the black suit on, no, bullshit, I'm not taking any self-righteous bullshit from you. I am saving you no matter what. I'm not going to let you die like Aunt May, essentially. There's parallels you could draw from here. Which is interesting.
That's possibly that could possibly be it, or it could be like something like maybe the Peter who's influenced by the black suit doesn't like he discovers that the suit is the way to save Harry, but he's like, I don't want to give it up though, it feels too too fun. I like it, and then like I don't know, maybe have Harry like he's forced in a situation to where he needs to like double dose himself on goblin juice to like make up for the lack of symbiote, and then boom, you have a Green Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's so much that we don't know yet, and the pieces we have don't exactly help paint a picture.
But we do have, I think, a good portion of a picture at least.
You take the drones, I got the jet skis. Cool if I borrow this? This is really
Like the real good use of like momentum there.
For those drones. Don't worry.
And you can see that he's sticking onto cranes as well. That's interesting that conveniently placed cranes like Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Well, yeah, I think you kind of need something to hang in there because otherwise it's like Spider-Man 1 where he's just webbing the sky.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree with you on that note very much.
Spider-Man is fighting on right now. Everybody down!
God damn it, man! Spider-Man's just always fighting all over the place.
Right, I've got the metal murder bird. I warned you about going after Connors. Now this is on you.
See, Peter's taking it very personal.
Well, I think there's the suit is affecting him, and I think it's probably because I would think he's just found out the truth about Harry, because in the first game he just figures he just thinks Harry is off like abroad in Europe, like he like getting treatment or something. He doesn't know anything about it.
Did MJ uncover that he's sick or not? I can't remember.
I think it was like something about having to send Harry away, but beyond that, all she did was find out about the goblin bombs and stuff.
Peter doesn't do the dance. I'm gonna riot. Yeah, me too.
Oh, that would be.
Oh, see, he does have the wingsuit. Oh, that's cool. That was cool.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
this scene coming up, I don't know, something just didn't work for me.
Interesting that they're casting nets, like they want to catch him as well.
Well, obviously they do, because it's probably going to be like a big, like, battle royale type situation where like Kraven throws them all into like one arena, and then he goes after them like one by one. But here's this is probably like the one scene in the entire game, gameplay that really kind of tweaked my red flag meter a bit. It's like Peter getting pwned and then Miles having to save him. I don't know. Just maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but it was just like it felt off to me. It was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, let's carry on.
Yeah.
And then you have like the horror sequence of
the creature from the Black Lagoon.
On that note, since Taskmaster was a cameo, Bushman was a cameo. I have not heard of Bushman.
Bushman's a Moon Knight villain.
Oh, okay. By the way, before this gameplay, I completely forgot the fact that
Miles can turn invisible.
Yes, it's another stupid power of his. Fucking hell! How many stupid powers does he have?
Well, before they started doing the lightning swords, he just had the electrical abilities and then the invisibility. That was about it.
They should stick, alright, with the paralysis sting, not the electricity bullshit, and just that, really. Because
I think like him having like the electrical charge thing was like enough. It's like, okay, because it made sense because it was a different type of spider that bit him. So it's like, okay,
I still like the electricity. I like the sting more, the paralysis sting. I think it's more biological, and electricity just is
Well,
more
it was
like
that was just a ripoff of Miguel O'Hara's thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, because Miguel has he's actually got fangs that he can actually bite into you and give you paralysis.
yeah. All right, let's carry on.
Thanks for shouting my name out in the open, asshole.
That is a brilliant catch right there as well. By the way, you could not do this. I'm pretty sure like the balance good for you. I guess he's overpowered, but
I mean, he's like superhuman, so I guess that
Yeah.
kind of works a little bit better.
yeah.
My issue is
Ideally, you
just
need something on your feet at least. You know, like
yeah,
a tank or
something like that. I don't know. I'm still hung up on the bit of just I don't care if you're like out in the middle of the lake or something. It's just like, do not shout my real name out in the open like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's a point of wearing the mask. It's like, I already don't like you, Birdman. Okay, because you openly say Peter's name. It's like, you shouldn't even know that, motherfucker. And now you're shouting Miles' name out in the middle of nowhere. It's like, come on. You guys couldn't come up with fucking code words? Batman figured this shit out easily.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Yeah.
Oracle was like a thing. So he didn't have to say, Barbara, I need you to check my text messages or something. It's just like, you know.
Alfred. Yeah. Again, this. Why did I don't really tell him that this bird guy, whoever controls the bird guy, why didn't we tell him that Peter was Spider-Man if he's doing this kind of shit? I mean, Peter, I'd be worried. Maybe just crawl into his
Dude,
bed one day and just finish him
I
off,
would
smuggle him.
push this man down a flight of stairs.
Yeah, exactly. It was an accident, I swear. That reminds me, by the way, speaking of the black suit Spider-Man creeping into buildings, do you reckon if MJ is in this game, she's gonna be really creeped out by the black suit?
Oh,
That'd be good.
Yeah, probably. It's gonna be like
That's
she's
a
gonna
good feature to need to.
she'll probably
definitely
freak
include.
out and try to be the more morality or something.
Mhm.
And
MJ in the comics, MJ really doesn't like the suit, and I mean really doesn't like it. Even when it was not confirmed to be alive, I'm pretty sure. I think so, at least. But yeah, she really hates it, which I think could be adapted well.
I know. Whoa.
Yeah, Lizard's got like spikes on his back as well, from what I noticed there. Let me just pause on a good moment. You can't see it though. Yeah, you can see like spikes on him as well. But they definitely.
yeah, it seems like they're going for like a weird spiky lizard thing, which is like,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm so freaking glad they didn't go the Amazing Spider-Man 1 route.
Oh, where they just
Where he-
took out where they
yeah.
didn't give him a snout.
Yeah. Give him a goddamn snout. I mean, make him look more lizard than human. I say.
Yeah, I have no problem with lizard being like an actual lizard. I think I don't know, maybe it's just me. I just kind of miss when Lizard had a lab coat on, you know.
Yeah, true.
But
It could
I don't
still
know.
happen, you know. It could probably still happen, you know.
Maybe.
In the initial stages, like at least. But I imagine that was going to rip off immediately. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a lab coat.
I do not want to be lizard food.
Again, that's not a funny remark. Yeah, so you got a good look at him there, essentially, and his spikes on him.
So it
He's
looks
got
like
kind of
he's
like stripes on him as well.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of about the size of Rhino, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, I think I'm convincing on that not to like the game. I didn't like the Saber arc in the first game. Yes, I didn't like it too.
Silver Sable is just kind of like. I mean, admittedly, I she
You've
was
got
okay.
like freaking boring characters. Freaking Mr. Negative. Freaking Silver Sable. Freaking Wraith. Who else is there? Freaking Pinball, whatever her name was.
No one likes Screwball. Okay, no one likes her.
Screwball. Like
No one likes
literally,
her because
she's
that chick was just Jake Paul, but as a supervillain. Like, I'm
Literally.
shocked no one ever came up with that description except me.
Bug. Literally, like I've just named you 4 boring ass characters in there. In here, they've already stepped up.
I
You
will
also got-
take the boring characters over MJ any day.
Yeah. Yeah. Because right now you have Craven, Lizard, Black Suit, Venom, probably missing someone. So yeah, you've got 4 there. 4 bigger characters essentially. And yeah, I reckon we're gonna see a much more interesting characters in here than the first. Yeah, let's carry on.
Got him! Hold on! Look out! Everyone, take cover! What are you guys doing? Trying to take out that gunship! Can't get close enough! But I can!
Look at the quickness of this there, just like a full-on dinosaur.
Alley-oop on 3? Fine!
I think these are just quick time events and cutscenes as well.
3!
I mean, they're kind of Pikachus.
Yeah, and look at the way the blank suit Spider-Man swings his tendrils everywhere. Does remind me of Web of Shadows. I hope it's gonna be much more in the gameplay, swinging his tendrils everywhere.
Hopefully.
Mhm. Yeah, that black suit looks awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna wear the default black suit for a while, because in the first game, as soon as alright, change skin, because I wasn't really a fan of it. I don't hate the suit, but depending, I've noticed in the default suit in Spider-Man 1, it kind of looks orangey for some reason. It doesn't really look red, but I guess that depends on what machine you're playing it on.
Yeah, that kind of happens on depending on the lighting and where it hits it at.
Yeah, I reckon they should definitely avoid that. Make it look red all the time, not orange.
Yeah.
Right. There's probably bits of dialogue here that we want to cover.
He got away from us.
It's good, Pete. I saved the tracker. Let's go, man, before he gets too far.
No. He's mine.
You sure? He's got big teeth.
Wait a minute.
So do I.
There we go. Did you see that?
Hold on. I saw something weird going on in the eyes.
Exactly. First is smooth, and he's got big teeth.
So do I.
It's
Well,
subtle.
yeah,
It's very subtle.
that line was pretty heavy on the nose
Yeah.
for me. There, it was like okay, yeah, that meant there might be a moment where he will he'll venom out for a second, and
Mhm.
that
Do you
demonstrates.
reckon that'll be like a super move, essentially, like in Shattered Dimensions, essentially?
Maybe, you know what? I wouldn't put it past them if there was you had a berserk mode where all your moves are almost an insta kill feature,
Mhm.
or you just hit harder for 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's badass. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I saw it on Twitter, that little detail there, just on the eyes. It's very subtle, but I like it. I do like it. And you can definitely show slow changes like that. Maybe add claws to him and stuff like that. Maybe
Yeah, I think that would be that would be interesting. For you have your berserker mode.
Oh, remember in it? I don't remember which Spider-Man game it was, but the more you wear the suit in that Spider-Man game, in the black suit, the harder it is to take it to go back to a red suit. Yeah, to
Web of
mash the
Shadows.
button more. No, I don't think it was. No, it wasn't Web of Shadows. I think it was Spider-Man 3 or 2. Can't remember.
I think it was. If it was Spider-Man 3, because
I don't
when,
think it was Spider-Man 3. I'm not. Maybe it might have been
well,
actually.
the thing with Spider-Man 3 was you play up until a certain point,
Mhm.
you get the black suit, you're playing another good chunk, like pretty much the second half of the game with the black suit,
Mhm.
and then up until like the last like maybe like half hour of the game, you're back to the regular suit because that's when you got to fight Venom and Sandman and stuff. And the big thing was the black suit gave you like all these extra abilities and shit that was like really cool to have. And all they did was just make they made the bosses and enemies a lot harder to fight in the missions to counteract this. So that way you weren't just like scrubbing through it. And I knew this because because once you beat the game, you could replay it with the black suit in the entirety of the game. And the first half you can clear it way easier in the than you could in the normal one because the black suit just was way too OP.
Anyone else play Ultimate Spider? I do have it on my PC, but because the controller configurations aren't that great, I left it alone. And I should probably get back to it, to be honest. Yeah, I'll probably. Yeah, get to rampages them and you had to regain health. Yeah. That was a cool feature. That was a pretty cool feature. You had to eat people on the way. Yeah. Like, do you remember, by the way, that it didn't used to be a set of like sharp teeth on the black suit. It used to be just like a kind of like a creepy ass human teeth smile. And I remember that black suit essentially, like, I think it was Eddie that was wearing it, and it kind of smiled to MJ essentially, and that's why she was like really creeped out by it. Imagine they added something like that.
I mean, it's very possible. Like, there's a lot that can go on with this with the parts that they put out. I mean, like we know we got black suit. We know it's affecting Peter. It's gonna do something because, like, clearly it's gotta have to make Peter go a little crazy before they take that off because it's gonna have to leave him at some point in order to get Venom. Now, how that plays out, I don't know.
He's not normally like that, right?
No. He's never like that.
No, he's never like that, Birdman. He's only like that when I tell people his secret identity.
Hang on. Do you know the scene where he bumps through the wall? Hang on. I think we may have missed something here because I wanted to discuss this. On this topic of Miles noticing.
Well, yeah, that he first notices the new suit.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hey, man. New threats?
Exactly. Okay, so this is the first time Miles sees the black suit.
Yeah, so
which is weird to me. There's some editing trickery going on here.
Maybe that's the case, or at the very least, Peter's discovered the black suit. He's used it a little bit, and this is when Miles finds out about it at first. Like, I would say so it's probably like that. It's like where Peter finds it, or it gets on him. However he gets it, there's probably like a couple of missions or a mission or two that he plays around with the suit, and he'll be reacting to it because he clearly wasn't saying like, "Oh shit, what I'm doing all these crazy things with the suit." It's like, whoa, when he was like fighting all those hunters and at the house, So Peter's clearly gotten used to the new suit and the new way of it pretty, like, enough to the point where he doesn't give a shit. about explaining this to Miles, who's just like, "Oh, you got a new suit," and
Mhm.
he's gonna start noticing like how his demeanor's changing and stuff.
You might be onto something there. Yeah. I think that completes our breakdown for the Spider-Man gameplay. I'm very much interested. Will I buy it first day? Maybe. Uh, maybe if I can afford a PS5. But might live stream. Let me know, chat, if you'd like to see me live stream the game when it comes out. I'd definitely be interested to play it. Very keen as to what's going on story-wise. Bugs, has this gameplay scene increased your confidence in this game? Because it certainly has for me. I wasn't expecting much, but this gets a thumbs up from me. Still
I'd
cautiously
say,
optimistic, though. Cautiously optimistic.
yeah, I'd say I'm kind of in the same area where like I was pretty interested already. Like I wanted to play it. The first game was entertaining and enjoyable for me, so I was definitely into this. I'll admit there were some bits of this reveal that was kind of like left me kind of going, I don't know, because like the Miles saving Peter, Miles having to tell Peter to do the team-up move to take down the aircraft that Craven was in, telling the bird guy his identity, and the bird guy shouting out his name out in public, which is like, come on, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, I've kind of like, I'm cautiously optimistic about the game. I hope it'll be as good as I hope it is, and enjoyable. I hope it doesn't try to do any weird fuckery.
So yeah, big positives. Craven, it seems adapted really well. He acts like Craven, looks like Craven. Black suit looks great. Don't care what those bitchy others people say. I think the suit looks great. Little worried about the combat. I'm worried that it's just going to be the samey, just different animations. It's not going to feel unique. Yeah, screw Miles. That's my takeaway about all this. By the way, you can like level up Miles as well, and he has his own skill tree and stuff like that. Fuck that! I'm not gonna touch that with a stick.
No,
they're
gonna make you have to do it because there's obviously gonna be missions where you have to do stuff as Miles, and so you're just gonna be handicapping yourself and getting yourself kicked in the balls repeatedly because you didn't upgrade Miles's health bar.
Yeah, true. Peter Parker will probably end up. That could be a possibility that he ends up being Venom, and Harry just dies.
I don't want it. No. I don't want it. No. I don't. That's one of those things.
I could see them doing that.
I don't want it. I don't want it because it's just like there's too much. It's one of those things where I don't want it. I don't even want to entertain the thought because I don't need Insomniac destroying any goodwill by doing a fucking Last of Us shit. I don't need that. I don't want that. I just don't.
But the thing is, even if he does become a villain, he'll turn good at the end as soon as you get the suit off him. Because I can imagine Miles's electricity powers will get the symbiote off easily, essentially.
I think here's the thing, though. I feel like the stuff they've kind of hinted off and teased with like the possibility, like we've already said, Venom is going to be in the game. It is flat out. That's what's the case is. You have Harry, a primary host of Venom whenever you didn't have Eddie Brock. Now, we could have an Eddie Brock. He's just not in the game that they haven't shown. And they probably won't show him because they want to keep him secret. I mean, no one knew about Taskmaster, that he was in the game until we started playing it. So that was a nice little like secret there.
Insomniac can be trusted. I mean,
I
hope you're right. I hope you're right.
So. It's just like I don't. it's just a lot of franchises these days have tried that trick, and it's just like I don't need it here. I just want I just want like this good story. Granted, I don't really care for Miles, but it's like if he's written okay and he doesn't like override all of Peter's stuff, and he isn't like too much of a hog to the spotlight, where they just balance things out just fine. I'm more than okay with it. And if they just not do any of the bad things they did in the last game, like I don't want Mary Jane stealth sections. If I see one, I'm gonna be pissed.
Just throw the game out the window. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I only make one exception, where
You
MJ
increase
is like
the radius of her butt cheeks.
Well, I mean, there's that,
flat.
but like, I would accept Mary Jane trying to avoid a freaking roided out, symbioted Peter. Like he's like make that a horror level,
Ooh.
like kind of like how in Resident Evil games they always have that one level where you don't have any weapons, you don't have anything to defend yourself, and you have to like just run and hope for the best.
Oh, there's so much horror stuff they could do. Yeah.
Yeah, I would totally go for that. I would totally go for like Mary Jane trying to walk through a dark room and then just see Peter just doing the Venom face, like just like roaring at her, just like wow.
Or maybe Harry as Venom. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Like I could be fine.
Do you reckon they'll go with the bit that Venom can avoid Peter's spider sense, and that's going to make it a very difficult boss battle? You can't dodge him.
No, I think
that'd be good mechanic there.
I don't know about gameplay mechanics, but I could totally be fine with having it in the story because it makes so much sense. Because the reason that at least the Spectacular Spider-Man, they explain it by like how Peter was so bonded to that thing over time that his Spidey sense can't register it as a threat. That was like one of those things. Like I could be totally down with that, or at the very least, if the suit is like an alien, then it kind of knows how to like maneuver itself around Peter's like spider sense. It's like, I know how to counter you, bitch.
Yeah. Don't worry, Miles will save him in the end and teach him to do better.
I swear to
better, Spider-Man.
I swear to God, I swear to God, they do that. I'm gonna commit a war crime.
I reckon Miles will definitely help Peter get the suit off.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the case. And if they do go a direction, I could imagine them like Peter getting like so riled up that Miles has to snap him out of it. Maybe this results in a boss fight with a roided out like scary Peter. I don't know. Although I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if they did one thing like they did in Last of Us, where they make you play as the quote-unquote villain and then beat up the other character, meaning let me play as Peter, roided out like Miles. Venom, and beat the fucking piss out of Miles, and then just have the end of the cutscene like goes where Peter thinks he's about to kill Miles, and he's like, oh, fuck. Oh, no. And then,
what have I done?
Like, what have I done? And then, he gets the suit off. I wouldn't mind that. I also wouldn't mind replaying that level just for therapeutic reasons.
All right. And on that note, I think we'll finish off the stream. I have kept you for so long, and thank you for sticking with me. Shall we play this clip one last time, by the way? Because I love it so much. Why not?
Get back here, Shocker! Shocker! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
I love it. I freaking love it. You know what? That could probably be a thing for my channel. Like, They should. It should happen in the game.
That should.
It should. They need to. Like, even if it isn't Shocker, he needs to be shouting at someone, "Grandma, I'll chase you to the ends
It's
of the
gotta
earth."
be. It's gotta
It's
be
gotta be
Shocker.
Shocker. Okay.
There's
Just
no
a nobody.
alternative. No one
Nobody
else.
Shocker gets. Oh, I love that. All right, Bug, do you have anything to promote or whatnot for the?
Well, right now it's just Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
But Mr.Bug on Twitter. My only video that I'm working on is the Black Panther Justice League thing. That's still in the pipeline. I have to
Mm-hmm.
rework some things, but that's gonna come out sometime. But yeah, but that's where I'm at. Twitter. Follow me. Otherwise, I'll chase you down to the ends of the earth.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. As for my channel, I'm sorry to inform you, chat, there may not be as many meme videos on the channel in the upcoming weeks. Circumstances, life, and whatnot. But please do keep sending me stream highlight suggestions at TrueCulture7 or leave them down in the comments. And I'll definitely come back with legends. I will try my best to keep the TP7 show always on Sundays for as long as possible, and definitely probably make the stream so much longer because I'm pretty sure after this 2-hour mark we still got some good views. It did drop down like near 2 hours and after up here rise. So let me know, guys, if you'd like longer streams essentially, because this seemed to do pretty well without me spamming it everywhere in every single chat that's known to earth. But yeah, let me know if you'd like a longer live stream. And yeah, thank you, Berg, for sticking with me for 2 hours and 48 minutes. By far the longest live stream we've had on this channel. So you get that privilege, sir, a record. So
Awesome. I love having records.
I will see you all next Sunday, chat. Hope to see you there. And until the next memes as well. Ta-ra, everyone.
Bye-bye.